Formula One has left the European circuit and now starts the Asia runs. Welcome back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Not many races remain on the calendar then in the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend before we head over to Japan in 7 days' time. Qatar takes us into October, along with a sprint race both there and at the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. October rounds out with the Mexico Grand Prix before we go to Brazil, Las Vegas, and then the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. Can't crown it here, but can do it in Japan. Max Verstappen is on the verge of his third world title. Sergio Perez in second on 219 points. Both of them, however, could wrap up the Constructors' Championship. More on that later. Fernando Alonso is ahead of Lewis Hamilton from Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. George Russell ahead of Lando Norris. And then we get Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon in 11th. On the second page, Oscar Piastri with 12th, and then it's Alexander Albon ahead of Hülkenberg, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu's just re-signed for another year with Alfa Romeo, then ahead of Tsunoda and Magnussen, the last points pairers. Further down, Sargent, Lawson, De Vries and Ricciardo, still no points. De Vries no longer in the championship, Ricciardo out with a broken hand. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way and could wrap up the championship this weekend. More on that later. Mercedes on 273 points, Ferrari 228. The fight is on for second. Then it's Aston Martin ahead of McLaren, who've moved back ahead of Alpine. Williams now 10 clear of Haas, who are a point clear of Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri still on 3. Let's take a look around this Singapore street circuit in Marina Bay. Modified for the third time in its career, this latest version is faster than ever. Get a good exit out of the last corner and boot towards the line. Down towards turn 1 then, very heavy on the braking zone as well. Braking around about 60 metres, flick the car into the left, a right and then another tight left. It's a sort of a straight line you've got to navigate with some corners. Good exit which gives you a run down towards the kink at turn 4 that leads you down Raffles Boulevard and the first of the DRS zones. Open it up and control the exit. Try and keep as close to the wall as you possibly can, but keep a complete straight line to the hard braking zone of turn number 6. Flip the car up as well on the curb. 7 and 8 now coming up against you as well as the track incredibly tightens up. The narrowness of it gets really tight. Just come through turn 9. Out now towards turn 10. The old Singapore sling past the hotel as well on the right hand side. Flip the car in as you now approach into the Anderson Bridge. Used to go over the left side, now we go over the right side as you hurtle down the brakes in towards turn number 12. New section of the track coming up then as well. No longer do we go underneath the famous part where Nelson Piquet crashed in 2008. Now it's a straight line coming out of turn number 14. Hurtle it down, not a DRS zone, but there's where you used to turn off. Now it's a straight run down. Should be very easy to overtake with a very heavy braking zone into the original chicane. Down it now, 18 and 19. It's going to be very interesting to see how this part of the track shapes up. Last 2 corners, flick the car, accelerate to the line. It's around 10 seconds faster than the new Marina Bay circuit. Maybe press the right button, Josh. That's not the greatest advance of the green screen technology by pressing the wrong button. Clearly we haven't used it that much. Hello everybody and welcome to live coverage of the Singapore Grand Prix. And welcome back to JB Motorsports 1, we got our live streams restored to us this morning. Very well done for everybody as well, for all their hard work on JB Motorsports 2. Hello to everybody on Twitch as well. Nothing changes there. We've been with you throughout the weekend. But welcome back, and hello everybody on the main channel on YouTube. It is delightful that we can bring you the Grand Prix live on the main channel. It's just so much more fun. And we've got the green screen technology ready. I'm not the only one with the green screen though, because if we go down over now, we can see that Josh T is also in Singapore virtually as well. Jess is alongside us as well, but she's just finishing up a few things at the bottom, and it's quite hard because it was all set up for 3 people. So we just left Jess there, so wave to Jess. But hello, Josh. Well, this is new. Finally using our technology for good, and actually not wasting £40 worth of equipment that was bought back in April, used twice and then forgotten about. It's permanently up now, and you'll be seeing it in the pre-race coverage from now on, because it's easy now to just pop it down during Martin's grid walk and all that lot, get going. But let's talk about yesterday. Let's talk about the penalties that never were. If you weren't with us throughout the weekend so far on the live coverage and were only with us watching the highlights, Max Verstappen stopping in the pit lane and then blocking Yuki Tsunoda, then blocking Logan Sargent, all 3 under investigation, but none getting a penalty. So Josh, reprimand, but Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly earlier on the season, for exactly the same thing, got 3 place grid penalties. What is going on?
Twitter, no, it's not X. I refuse to call it X. Twitter exploded. It was absolutely insane, and it exploded about a lot of things yesterday. But we're just seeing there the track layout changes, definitely for the better for this year. But it's it's rumoured to change back for the 2027 season. But going back to the penalties, I don't get it, and a lot of the Red Bull no penalty and every other team penalty meme going around, and corporate needs to find the difference in this picture.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing, isn't it? It was a clear-cut case. We said it in commentary yesterday. It was the fact that Max clearly stopped in the fast lane. He clearly was doing it to gain track advantage, but there's no actual rule about stopping in the pit lane, in the fast lane. People could have gone around him, but it's not allowed because the pit lane's too small, and you can't go back into the slow lane from the fast lane to undertake. So that's why everyone else got stuck. But is that the first sort of thing we've seen from Max Verstappen this year, where the car isn't as competitive coming into a race weekend, it's not as good, and all of a sudden the old dirty tactics start coming out? Because I said it bluntly, it was cheating yesterday, and he got away with it 3 times.
Yeah, it was a type of cheating, especially trying to get the best lap times. They knew that their car wasn't good enough to get pole, so that's when the impeding and stopping to get the track advantage. No cars in front gives them the clean line.
Well, the pit lane is open, and we're going to throw down to Ted Kravitz.
This is Kevin Magnussen, car number 20, starting from 6th position, a brilliant 6th position. Fernando Alonso behind him, and Nico Hülkenberg a bit further down, but also in the top 10. So for Haas, this is a great opportunity to further their way up the Constructors' Championship. They need to come away from this Singapore Grand Prix tonight with a bagload of points, and if they don't, then they've got Günther Steiner to answer for. There's Valtteri Bottas carrying Alfa Romeo Sauber's hopes. His teammate Zhou Guanyu has put a new engine in and changed the setup, and so starts from the pit lane. But let's have a look at Charles Leclerc's start, and let's see if that gives us a clue as to the start of both himself and his teammate Carlos Sainz from pole position. Look at that Lando Norris with a special sparkly helmet lining up behind him. But you know what? It's a strategically very exciting race. If there is a crash or an incident, or a lot of wheel spin from Lando, they want to get that sorted out. If there's a crash or an incident, they bring out the safety car to slow everyone down. That's the cue to make your pit stop then, so you lose the least time. Track position is key there. So to try and make a one-stop work, the strategists say you start on the medium tyre, go to between laps 20 and 30, then put a hard tyre on and go to the end, which is lap 62. Pirelli say that you can run the soft tyre at some point during the race, but I've got to say the teams don't really agree with Pirelli on that one. But you never know, we might see the soft at some point. But David Croft up in the commentary box. The big question for me is, can Max Verstappen get back on the podium?
That's quite a task for Max Verstappen today. Twice in his career before he started 11th. He's yet to score a points finish. First time he started 11th was actually in his first ever Grand Prix back in 2015. But if you're going for 11 wins in a row, why not start 11th today? For Ferrari, though, first and third on the grid, just as they started in Monza last time out, and just as they started here in 2019 when they won that night. And this, the last track that Ferrari got a double podium at last year when they came to Singapore. There's Lewis Hamilton, the only driver to feature in every single one of these Singapore Grand Prix. Only twice he's failed to score here, 4 wins to his name. Is he one of the threats today? His teammate George Russell starts on the front row. He's never scored a point here before. This is his best chance, and an excellent chance for the win. Lando Norris too, another driver right in the game today. He's finished 7th and then 4th here at Marina Bay. Another 3-place jump, and that maiden win is definitely his. Sergio Perez starts his 250th Grand Prix in 13th place on the grid. He did that back in 2015 and came home 7th that evening. Esteban Ocon celebrates his 27th birthday today. Happy birthday to him. Celebrations for him as he's in the top 10 for the first time since Canada. It's the 75th Grand Prix, by the way, to feature a birthday driver. Liam Lawson in the top 10 for the first time in F1. No driver has ever scored their maiden points at a Singapore Grand Prix. And as Ted said, Joe Guan Yu starting from the pit lane. That makes 18 drivers on the grid, 19 in the race. Lance Stroll has pulled out of the race today, still feeling the effects of that 150-mile-an-hour crash yesterday. We wish him well as he aims to recover in time for Japan next week. There's your pole sitter, Carlos Sainz, back-to-back poles for the first time in his career. Can he convert it into a win tonight? Simon.
One of the many questions to be answered over the next few hours. We've talked about 3 Brits being inside the top 5, and a lot of time to talk about those as we approach.
Yep, and the car's heading out onto the circuit now as well. We've got around about 45 minutes until the lights go out, and you can see that all now down below us. You can see the driver tracking with me and Josh up here. Perez coming back through the pit lane as well. So now, Josh, this is really where the systems start to fly. Everyone's out there getting used to the humidity, getting used to the track temperature. It's up there, 38 degrees, air temperature 30. There's only an 80% chance of a safety car now. Now, historically, it's been a 100% chance. But coming into this weekend, because they've removed that section underneath the bridge where about 4/4 of them happen, so now it's only 80% chance. Do you think we'll still get a safety car?
Well, it's Singapore. Yes, we will definitely get a safety car. But the question is, Josh, Max Verstappen has been off the pace. He's had some mistakes. Will the safety car be for Max Verstappen? We'll have to find out. Or will it be for someone else?
You've really been going about the Max Verstappen not finishing this race as well. There's Lando Norris as he comes in. Omi's just joined the commentary team as well, so we'll get that all sorted with him in the comms box if you want to pop your camera on, Omi, for the second. But just a quick thing as well to talk about what we've been going on here. Lando Norris starts 4th on the grid. It's his best ever qualifying here at the circuit. His previous best came in with a 8th position, so he's doing better already. In fact, several drivers, Sainz, Russell, Ocon, then Lando, obviously Piastri, Magnussen, Lawson and Sargent having their best ever qualifyings here. But let's talk a little bit as well about Logan Sargent, Josh and Omi, because Sargent got away with the penalty as well yesterday. He did not receive anything from the stewards to come through for blocking Lance Stroll in the first part of the session. So I think, Josh, as well, everyone got lucky yesterday not to incur the wrath of the stewards.
Yep, everybody did get lucky, and there should have been a lot more penalties than there was. There definitely should have been at least 4 penalties given out yesterday, but well, it is what it is. It's the FIA being the FIA.
Omi's with us now here in the box as well, and we've got to say a happy birthday to you, Omi, as well. You've done commentary though today already, so you're really having a busy day today.
Oh, I was already called up right in the morning to get everything sorted, so already done some commentary. Now I can relax and watch this race, but yeah, it's gonna be an absolute cracker. But yeah, everyone did get really, really lucky yesterday, I have to say, and I think we weren't all happy about a certain person though. I went straight in Instagram messages with you.
You did, and I was annoyed as well. Max clearly a penalty, didn't get one. Your take though, Omi, on the two Ferraris, Sainz on pole position, Leclerc starting third on the grid. Golden opportunity for them to win, and Ferrari go well here, winning 4 races here in the past 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Ferrari do go incredibly well here, and their best chance as well, and anyone's best chance really to deny. Also, same can be said about Russell and anyone else who wants to get involved in the fight as well, because Red Bull. They are behind. Red Bull are completely behind, and also usually, and it's a very hard circuit to overtake, and we don't even know if Red Bull's car is going to be good enough to even overtake as well. So it's definitely everyone's best opportunity, and I'm not expecting Red Bull to fly to the field like we always see. Red Bull, I think we're going to see something similar to last year, with both of them. With obviously Verstappen struggled last year to make his way through. I think we're going to see something similar with both Red Bulls this year.
Paul has said happy birthday to you, young man, as well. And Upright Fossils here saying, good morning, everybody. I see some people feel Max deserved a grid penalty for blocking Tsunoda. Can we just go racing and stop with all the drama? Let's go Ferrari, finally a race to cheer for. Yeah, we'll stop with all the drama now as well. But we will talk about Max Verstappen a little bit more. And we'll start with Josh T on this one because he said yesterday in an interview that he's almost written off winning this Grand Prix. He's won from further back before, Max Verstappen, and as Crofty said a few moments ago, going for an 11th win, start from 11th. Hamilton's won from 16th on the grid before as well, 14th back at the German Grand Prix a couple of years ago. But, Josh, it is Singapore. Yes, it's challenging, but in Jeddah, he started 15th and finished second. It's not impossible for him to get a victory today. Are we too much to write him off already?
It isn't impossible, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for Max Verstappen, especially how the Red Bull has been performing. No doubt they've been tweaking some stuff, changing some stuff, even though they're in Parc Ferme, they're allowed to change certain stuff. Not significant changes, but yeah, hopefully Red Bull and Max Verstappen may be able to get back up to where the Red Bulls are normally.
We haven't talked much either at the moment about Lance Stroll. A horrible crash in qualifying yesterday, recorded at around about 60G. It was so much so that the way he went into the barrier at this last corner where I am now on the green screen, he went directly in between the Tech Pro barrier and moved the concrete wall back 50 centimetres. That's why we had such a long delay yesterday. Lance Stroll has withdrawn from this event. He is claiming that he is very sore in the morning, plus the infection he's had up on his towards his top of the left ear as well, that we've noticed he's been wearing a plaster over for the past couple of weeks. Is it about time? I've seen a lot of comments this morning on social media, and Omi, we'll start with you here as well, because you know you like rants about drivers who don't deserve a seat in F1, and Josh will get your thoughts on it. Is it about time that Lance Stroll leaves Aston Martin before he gets pushed out? He already says he's bored and he wants to go and play tennis as well for some reason. So is it about time he goes, okay, I'm out now, that's it, I'm done?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he makes it easier for everyone in the team, especially for his father as well. I think he just makes it easier if he just goes, makes it much more easier just for everyone in general. And yeah, he doesn't really, he shouldn't really be on the grid. Now, it was great to see he was okay last time, but yesterday, but he really shouldn't be on the grid. I think Drogovic deserves a chance as well in the Aston Martin. So yeah, really, it is really annoying, but hopefully he will be gone. And really, he should just decide by himself to go. He makes it easier for everyone in the team.
Josh T?
Yeah, I think Lance Stroll has had his time in F1 as well, but you've got to remember, it's Lance Stroll, it's Daddy's cash.
Yeah, okay, fair dues. I'll get Jess's thoughts on it when she walks into the commentary box as well. Megan Birch hopefully will be with us at some point today. She is still not feeling very well. She's got a bit of a cold that's come on as well, so she won't be in the comms box. I know she wasn't in San Marino last weekend, but that's because she wasn't actually in the town. She was at our sister's baby shower. So she will be back next week in Japan and the MotoGP at India as we do the double there. Good morning to Coffee Dixon. Says good morning to everybody. This noble form. Good morning to you too as well. Hopefully you're enjoying your day so far. Good afternoon, good evening, good night wherever you are in the world as well. It says to quote the Truman Show. Well, giving you some information what's happening on the track right now. Everybody's now lined upon the grid. Don't know why I keep saying lap 21. That's still from what happened in qualifying. Hopefully that timing tower adjusts going into the Grand Prix, but we haven't done it yet, so let's confirm to you how they line up on the starting grid for this one. It's Carlos Sainz on pole position. George Russell lines up alongside him on the front row of the grid. And then we get Charles Leclerc third, Lando Norris is fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Kevin Magnussen is sixth, Fernando Alonso starts seventh, Esteban Ocon is eighth, Nico Hülkenberg ninth, and Liam Lawson, our best ever result in 10th position. We'll talk about him more in a second. Max Verstappen, first time since 2018 he's been out of a Q2 situation as well. He's down in 11th, Gasly 12th, Perez in 13th, Albon's 14th, Tsunoda 15th, Bottas 16th, Piastri 17th, Sargent 18th, Zhou is 19th, but will start from the pit lane with a new internal combustion engine, and Lance Stroll, even though he's 20th, will take no part in this Grand Prix, so he's already been readied out on our control decks up here in the comms box. Okay, let's talk about Liam Lawson. Josh T, an impressive start from him yesterday. The track improvement getting quicker, Red Bull off the mark, and Lawson kicked him out. And what a Q2 moment that was. Lawson, 10th on the grid, third ever Grand Prix, technically second full Grand Prix, because he got dropped in practice 3 in the Dutch Grand Prix. But Lawson's impressed me a hell of a lot. Surely he's got to be in the team for 2024.
Yeah, he really has to be in the team next year. What an incredible drive from Liam Lawson yesterday. And this was something else that Twitter absolutely exploded on. I don't know if you saw Matt and Tommy's reaction.
I got it sent to me.
Definitely deserves a drive, and now I will teleport back to Singapore.
I love this green screen tech. We are going to go back to our normal commentary boxes for the race, though, because it's too much power to have it with all the data systems up with the green screen. So, as you saw earlier at the start, it's just the green screen and the normal stuff's behind. Martin's grid walk in about 10 minutes' time.
Where's the cars gone?
Yeah.
Where's the cars gone?
That's good. We'll have to send these over to Omi. But yeah, we'll have a Japanese background next weekend as well, a live image from the circuit, and then we'll be passing that around the group as well. So very much looking forward to it. Omi, your thoughts on Liam Lawson? Does he deserve the seat more than Danny Ricciardo in Formula One at the moment, or does Ricciardo deserve to take Perez's seat like we talked about in practice 1?
Well, I think I'd like to see one more race from Ricciardo. Possibly, I think I'm going to judge him more really at the end of a stint. Once I'm not really once he returns, most likely in Qatar. I'm not really going to look there. I'm going to look about in Brazil, in Vegas, and Abu Dhabi, where he might be a tiny bit more recovered. So that's where I'm going to fully look at him. But one thing is Lawson deserves to be in that grid. And if Ricciardo doesn't get the AlphaTauri seat, the Red Bull seat for 2024, then I don't want him on the grid as well. Really simple as that. Yeah.
I'll agree with you. Who is taking over Stroll's race today car, says Paul? Nobody, because the accident happened in qualifying. There's no time for anybody to get any more practice in as well. If Drugovich, however, had done practice 1, he would have been allowed to get in the car because he had done a practice session. So that's the rule. So it makes you think how many people should give you an FP1 drive more often in case this happens. But from what I'm hearing as well, Stroll might not even be racing at the Japanese Grand Prix as well. There's a few concerns over him for 7 days' time as well, because there's not enough time for him to get back get it all sorted and then go back for the following event. So just keep your eyes on the JB Motorsports socials. We've recently joined Instagram at JB Motorsports IG. Content from this weekend will be put on there tomorrow as well, including some of the clips throughout the weekend, like the lizard is ready to go. That's going to be posted. Our reactions to Lights Out and all that lot. It's all going to be uploaded. Yeah, if it's tapping out too, they're all going to be uploaded on the socials, and then we'll be planning some more stuff on there as well. That's at JB Motorsports IG. On Twitter or X, you can find us at JB Motorsports X. On TikTok, where we're now going to be uploading. Again, you can join us at JB Motorsport as well. On Twitch, if you're already watching, you don't need to change anything, but Joshua Birch Motorsports. And here on YouTube, it's at JB Motorsports. And if you want to watch JB Motorsports 2, that's at JB Motorsports 2. All those socials are around as well. But we're getting ready to go down to the grid soon for the grid walk. We'll transform the commentary box back into the box that everybody knows by just taking the green screen down. Doesn't take that long at all. So I want to talk about one more driver if I can, and that is definitely the two Haas. Well, it's one team, two drivers. Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas's. How strong were they across all of qualifying, Josh? Because Magnussen out-qualifying Hülkenberg. Magnussen's best ever qualifying here with a 6th place. Hülkenberg starts 9th. His best qualifying here was 7th in 2017. But they are looking really good. Can double points be on the board for Haas here today?
Yes. Haas have been absolutely amazing. An amazing qualifying this weekend, and I'm actually going to look behind me and oh, hi Josh, I can see you at the top of the grandstand over there.
Yeah, where am I? There, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Love these green screens. Omi, I'm going to propose something that I want you to discuss. A podium. Is it possible for a Haas this weekend with Ferrari strategy not being great? Cars are pretty much equal. Is it going to be the Magnussen or Hülkenberg who could be on the podium here tonight?
It's definitely a possibility. Everything really is a possibility here at Singapore. Anything is possible. Haas were absolutely brilliant. Ferrari and Haas really had low drag in addition to also extra grip as well. Excellent grip, I should say. So it was just really, really good, and it just worked for both of them. So definitely a possibility. Might be a tiny bit hard possibly to also pass them in a straight line. Their speed looks good as well, the top speed. So it could be a tiny bit hard to pass them as well. It's a hard circuit to pass anyway, and that also applies to Mercedes, to quickly go on to them quickly as well. But it also applies to Mercedes. It's going to be a tiny bit hard for them to pass the Ferraris, but they will be on the back of the Ferraris definitely, because their race pace also seems good, especially their tyre wear. We know Ferrari like to struggle with their tyres quite a bit, so Mercedes could come in handy there. So going to be interesting, because the Mercedes at the end of stints could be looking very feisty, but the Ferrari also does have the straight line as well advantage. So it's going to be a brilliant battle.
Yeah, I got this sent to me by Pirelli earlier on in the day this morning. The possible race strategies as well. For one stop, it's medium until lap 20 to 30 and then hard to finish. Another option for the one stop is softs to lap 15 or 25 and then hard tyres to the finish. A two-stop race, this is something that if a safety car happens, softs to lap 13 to 18 and then hards to lap 40 or 46 and then soft tyres back to the finish. So we'll update you on that throughout the weekend as well. Also worth noting to point out that Red Bull could win the Constructors' Championship here today. They could do so if Red Bull score a 1-2, Mercedes failed to score, that is if. So Red Bull needed a 1-2 and Mercedes failed to score. Or Red Bull score a 1-2 and they set the fastest lap, and Mercedes score 1 point or less. But with both Red Bulls standing outside the top 10 and that of the Mercedes inside, I think we all know it's going to go on to Japan when they could possibly wrap up the double. Josh T's completely disappeared into the backlights there there he is, hello, on the green screen here at Singapore. We're getting ready to throw down to the grid on for Martin's grid walk in the coming moments. Just want to have a quick conversation with Upright Fossil. Says Stroll injured. I doubt it. He is one of the luckiest people on earth, let alone the grid. There's a few things that with this injury, he's got something wrong with him as well, with an infection that he's been fighting as well. And there's also something going around that he's not entirely happy with how stiff he was after the crash yesterday. It was a big impact as well, to look into it. I don't know if Jess has rejoined us because I can't see if she can hear or see us, if she's still deafened or not. I thought...
Jess
Bless you.
is here.
Hello.
Jess.
Hello, Jess. How are you doing? You doing good?
Yeah, just finished eating my lunch, and I'm all ready for the Grand Prix in half an hour. So there we go. I was just a bit behind schedule today, so I do apologise.
No worries at all. No worries at all. So just quickly want to gauge your opinions on the whole no penalties for impeding yesterday with Max Verstappen 3 times, and the Sargent incident as well of him blocking Lance Stroll. We've said it was unfair. It should have been a penalty. What's your take on it?
Me and my mum had a very long conversation this morning whilst we were packing, and we both agreed that he should have got a penalty.
Yeah,
So,
everybody
there we go.
is. Yeah, everybody is. It's really weird to get into.
Jess,
Yeah, what?
penalty or penalties is the question.
Penalties.
Like it. Just want to get your opinion, Jess, as well. We talked about this yesterday in the qualifying, or maybe even practice 3. I can't quite remember when it was, but history is going to be made today. The first ever female starter of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. Now, beforehand, Charlie Whiting used to press the button and then go over to race control as well. He was the starter. Christian Brundle took over that in 2019 after the tragic passing of Charlie Whiting. But his debutant for F2 and F3, who has controlled the starts, Rebecca Lee, she is now the permanent starter of Formula 1. So more records broken, Jess. Just want to get your thoughts about that. Of course, as a female on the team and in motorsport as well, representation so key as well. It's a step in the right direction now as well for more inclusivity.
I think the next stage, Josh, is to get maybe some female drivers in there as well, if they're good enough, of course. But I think it's going to take a while to do that as well. Obviously, we have Hannah Schmidt, who is a chief strategist for Red Bull as well, who does, to be honest, not going to lie, she does a really fantastic job. I really do respect her. And obviously, we've got Bernie Collins as well, who used to be an Aston Martin strategist. And now she's a pundit on the F1 team and does a cracking job there. So the more... It doesn't have to just be female representation. I think there needs to be representation across all other characteristics as well. It would be nice to see more people from the Black Asian minority group be involved, like Korean channel, for example. Nice to see them involved. Maybe some more LGBTQ plus people involved in motorsport as well. So, yeah, it's not just the female side. I think it should be diverse from all perspectives, in my opinion.
Completely agree. Let's hope we get it in soon as well. And there's a lot more openness in the paddock as well. What's described as the rich white man club, finally Formula 1 is taking the step in the right directions. Okay, so we've got about 25 minutes until the start procedure. Around about 10 minutes to go until the national anthems, which means hopefully it is time for Martin Brundle to go walkies here on the grid. He's been here at every single one, and every single year he complains about the humidity levels as well, so it's going to be quite fun to hear more from him as well. Jackie Stewart just there as well. I'm just seeing alongside, talking with some dignitaries that have been walking across. Television cameras all ready as well to get going. The night is fallen. Track temperature now 37 degrees, air temperature at 29 degrees. So we're going to be in for a very interesting race. And as we get ready to come in, it's time for Martin's grid walk. Down to you, Martin.
All yours, Martin.
I am out in P11, as is Max Verstappen, the World Championship leader. And the only good news for him is that he's on the right-hand side of the grid, which is perceived to be about 3 to 4 meters, more than half a car length, better, grippier, because it's the racing line for everybody, than this side of the grid, which is, you can see, is a lighter colour tarmac. You can see a lot more wheel spin marks from support races where they haven't found quite as much grip. And there is young Liam Lawson, the youngest driver on the grid, 21 and a bit he is. So we'll try and find somebody from Red Bull to explain to us what on earth is going on, because that's the first of their 2 cars in P11. But while Christian's just talking to German TV, we're going to talk to F1 in schools, the victors. Congratulations, the Recoil team. Who's going to talk to us and tell us how you won them, what you had to do to win out of 68 teams?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Honestly, we're super, super happy and excited to be here. I think we still can't believe that all of this is happening, and we're so close to the drivers and the cars. It's insane.
And you've got a fabulous trophy here. You're a team from Germany, I understand.
Yes, it's the first time Germany won the World Championships, so we're super glad we could do it. And yes,
it's good. So just take us through what you had to do to win.
Oh, it's been a lot. We've gone through multiple sleepless hours at nights, and we had to design a mini car. We had to build an enterprise around that, acquire sponsors, build right portfolios, do so much more. It's been an incredible and very, very stressing time.
I want to see all of you either in the paddock or on the grid in the future, and really good luck. Well done, congratulations. Right, let's go and have a chat with Christian Horner. So, you've broken it. What have you done to it, Christian?
Martin, if I could tell you that, you know, the reality is that's the car that won in Monza 2 weeks ago. It won in Zandvoort the week before, and in fact it won all the other races.
What, the actual car?
Yeah, I mean, other than wing level, nothing has changed. The only thing that's different is the track. So, you know, we need to understand it coming out of this weekend. I think we got a great race car, but of course, what can we do with it from here?
A great race car or a good race car?
I think we've got a good race car, and I think, you know, statistically, we got no chance. But then, hey, who believes in statistics?
All right, well, good luck. We look forward to it. Did you need a map to get down here, this far down on the grid?
Well, it's a shorter walk back to the garage anyway.
All right, good stuff. We'll see you later on. Right, let's go down. So, Haas did a tremendous job, didn't they, in qualifying 6th and 9th. Let's see if we can have a chat. This is Nico Hülkenberg's car, a little bit further down the field. We're going to keep marching towards the front of the grid. I'm not expecting to see any drivers on it. It's so hot out here. And Fernando Alonso, he will be urgently wanting to get, he's on the right-hand side of the grid, get a good launch in that beautiful Aston Martin, the only Aston Martin on the grid, of course, after Lance Stroll's really nasty accident in qualifying yesterday. And he'll want to clear this Haas really quickly. Where can we? He's just having a chat with French TV. Is Gunter? We'll have a quick chat if we get chance, because he's always amusing. Get the beeping machine ready, but I'm sure he'll be thoroughly well behaved. And on our way through, we'll just I'll just sort of stare at them all a little bit, see if I can muscle my way in. But how's your day going? Hope you're having a nice Sunday at home. And one more question going in there. So I think we might have to go, but I would like to hear from him. Would like to hear a bit about that, because I think we're going to find the drivers pouring on last minute. Gunter, well done in qualifying.
What went wrong? Did you ask, or what? What did you say, Martin?
I said well done. I asked Christian Horner what went wrong. I'm asking you what went right.
If I just would know, then I would do it every weekend, you know. No, I think this track is suiting better our car. So it's just like we had an opportunity and we took it. You know, everybody did a good job, and therefore we got into Q3 with both cars, and then Kevin did a fantastic job to end up 6th. So it's just one of these things. It's track dependent.
All right, well, good luck. I hope you can translate it into some points. Bye-bye. Right, let's head down and see if we can hoover up a few drivers. Adrian Newey there, having his usual look down the grid and see if he can learn something from all the other cars. We'll just keep marching down here. It always gets busier because everybody really wants to be at the front of the grid, don't they? So there's tumbleweed at the very back of the grid and nobody, and they don't even bother putting 10 SATA barriers around the cars, and come to the front and you can't see where you're going. And let's try and get right to the front corner here and wiggle our way through. Well done, Lee. And is there a car? I don't want to trip over a car, because at this point you can't even see a car. And let's see if we can actually go. We're going to leave. A lot of people said to me, I like your pit walk. I don't do a pit walk, I do a grid walk. But this is the pit lane. I always check left and right. Alex, can we have a quick chat while you're waiting for the... well,
Rachel, but maybe...
Oh, did you? All right, well, we can have a chat live. We just did a lovely piece with you. Congratulations on all of that with the orphanage. Really lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was nice for Ted to come along. Got him working a bit. He was sweating quite a lot, but he took the spice well. I was quite surprised by him.
He's a spicy character. So you got your cool suit on, but you look pretty cool. You look ready to go.
Yeah, we just did a nice bath in between. So I mean, it's so hot here. Obviously, I'd like to say I'm a little bit more acclimatized than most people, but I still struggle around this track. So it's up for everyone. It feels muggy right now as well, so let's see.
All right, good luck. Have a great race. And Lando is talking to Rachel. We'll play that one up, I'm sure, a little bit later on. So we're going to stand here because I think all the drivers have to come through here. And I feel a bit like a goalkeeper. How are you doing? Here to sort of see if we can just get... here comes Oscar. Bad luck in qualifying. You've got some work to do in the race.
Yeah, we'll try our best, see if we can get...
Esteban, happy birthday. He's gone. Sorry, I missed him. I was hoping to keep Oscar, but I've lost him. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good luck. Hope you get some presents on your birthday in the form of some World Championship points. So, and let's see if... Yeah. Max, have you got 10 seconds?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So a bit of work to do. You're on the grippy side of the grid. You'll be wanting to clear some cars early.
That's what we try. I think we also rely a little bit on a bit of luck throughout the race to pass cars, because you need a big pace delta to pass around here, which I don't think we have. I think we will be okay, but not amazing. So we'll see. Try the race. It's a long race. A lot of things can happen.
Christian said your car is a lot better in race trim.
Normally it is, but I think we're lacking a bit in general over the whole weekend. But I'm positively surprised today.
All right, good luck. We look forward to see if you can come through the pack. And there's still people really nervous about Red Bull. Liam, congratulations, P10 on the grid. I mean, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, even meet you yet. So
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. So well done. You've really turned up and put on a really good show.
Thank you. Yeah, it was obviously a good session yesterday, but today's the important one. It's a very, very long race. It's about being there at the end, honestly.
And you think you're ready mentally and physically for this mighty racetrack?
As ready as I can be. I would have loved to do a few more Grand Prix before it, but I'm as ready as I can be.
All right, have a great race. We look forward to seeing how you do. I don't know if there's any more drivers yet coming through. We missed quite a few, but we got Fernando coming in. He's usually, if he's not too late, he's usually good for. Okay, we're going to have to get out of here because there's a minute's silence this evening, and that is imminent. Back to you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. That was a good spot to hang out for a while, wasn't it? Got a fair number of drivers in there. Liam Lawson looking incredibly relaxed coming into his first Singapore Grand Prix. And Fernando Alonso, we'll discuss him in a few moments' time. I wonder how much of a threat he could be starting as he does from 7th. As Martin was touching on there, will now be a minute's silence in tribute to the victims of the earthquake in Morocco and the flooding in Libya, where thousands of people have tragically lost their lives.
Now, please, the minute of silence.
we go as the drivers make their way back to the cars. The two Red Bull drivers have a little bit further than usual to walk this time around. Let's get into it, though, from a British perspective and bring the ladies back in as well. Danica, Bernie, over here if you could. Yeah, I mean, I just wondered, do you think we could see a British driver on the top set today? We've got 3 in the top 5. We haven't really considered Lewis, who's been a little bit off the pace so far this weekend. We understand with very similar setups, though, converging more toward George's side.
Personally, I think off the 3, George has got the best opportunity today, starting on the front row of the grid. The dirty side hasn't been too much of a disadvantage historically, despite the fact that, you know, we're on a street circuit here. I think because it gets so much rain, it kind of washes it away. So he's got a great chance. Honestly, I'd love to see Lando take his first win.
Good segue. Here's the man himself. We saw him speak to Rachel a little earlier.
Lando, listen, fantastic qualifying yesterday. We know that Ferraris are hard on their tyres. What chance you can get up there today and cause some trouble?
It's the plan. I don't know, it's not going to be easy either way. Just to overtake, I think it's going to be too difficult. So it's going to be about lap 1, the start, safety cars, VSCs, all of the fun stuff basically. So it's going to be difficult on track to do a lot, but I think we have the pace to stay there and to compete against them. So we'll find out in a minute.
As we know, though, Bernie, anything can happen in Singapore.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I think we're probably looking at a one-stop strategy. We're looking at a medium-hard one-stop. But what is going to be very interesting for me today is keep an eye on those 2 Haas's in the top 10, because I think the Haas has the potential to hold some people up, create a difficult pit window for some others, and that's going to be important for the top 3.
Are you saying that Nico Hulkenberg might be working to the advantage of K-Mag, who's ahead of him?
100%. And even without that, I think Kevin Magnussen's the slowest on race pace we expect of that top 10. So the pit window of the top 3 in particular is going to be largely affected by where he is.
That's Boy George, who's just performed in front of the crowd. It's a great lineup actually this evening. Kings of Leon playing as well, and Robbie Williams. Okay, how are you seeing this one, Danica? From, I mean, is it Ferraris to lose?
I don't think so. I mean, I know that they obviously, Carlos is sitting on the pole, but I kind of think it's Mercedes to lose. I think that just when you look at the race situation, you look at the consistency of the Mercedes in the race and how good of a job they do at making decisions of when to pit and the strategy. I really think it's theirs to lose, but yeah, I'm like I said, I'd go with George.
I think Carlos has got a great chance here, because if they can get the 2 Ferraris working together strategically, and that is a key point, you know, if really, I think they've got that opportunity. They've got 2 dogs in the fight in the top 4. They have to find a way to make them in sync. And really, I think quite early on, Bernie, they've got to pick one, haven't they? They've got to say, this is the guy going for the win. We've got to use the other one to our advantage to help that car win.
Well, for me, it's really easy. They have 2 cars. The strategies here are, do you stop early, protect some position once you get clear of that Haas in the pit window? Do you keep one going for the safety car? They can cover off both of those strategies with the 2 cars that they have close together, assuming they're still close together when they get around turn 1.
They've got options, but then Mercedes have got an extra set of medium. Should we see a safety car, perhaps that will play into their hands. But Carlos Sainz, he is in form at the moment after everything that happened in Monza, back-to-back pole positions. He couldn't convert it a fortnight ago.
Yeah, the question is, will he be able to do so today? We're all set then up here in the commentary box as well, alongside now Jess and Josh T, all set to go. Omi has vanished to the back rooms as well, and we're all now set up. You can see how easy the commentary box turns away as soon as I hit the green screen image off. See, there we are, back up in the commentary box, ready to go, headsets on, and Omi's now gone into the pit lane as well with all the data like he was in qualifying. We'll be hearing from him. But Omi, as I say again, happy birthday. What are you most looking forward to in the pit lane today in terms of all the action we're going to see?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm guessing just to sing happy birthday, but she was muted. But yeah, really gonna be a great race. It was super close in qualifying. I actually did a comparison between all 3 actually, and I did see as well Russell taking a very, very different line at turn 13 right after the bridge as well. So there was a lot of time where drivers could have gained and lost. So I think it's going to be pretty equal. Mercedes could have better race pace, and then Leclerc also had some mistakes right at the beginning and right at the end, and then Sainz had a poor middle sector. So I think all three could have really have improved on that lap. So I think it's going to be a close race, and it's really going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
And Josh, the situation is at the moment is that we've got literally no idea what we're walking into in this race. Got no idea what we're going to see, going to happen. The Red Bull's so far back. Singapore's always unpredictable, but this is like ultra unpredictable. We can't work out what we're going to see next.
Yeah, it really, really is. How many safety cars are we going to see? If we see any safety cars at all, I think we're definitely going to get at least one safety car, but where will both the Red Bulls end up? Where will Lando Norris end up? Where will both of the Ferraris end up? Most importantly, where will the two Hasses end up? Where will Esteban Ocon end up on his birthday? We will have to find out. Happy birthday to Ocon and, of course, Omi as well.
Yeah, I should have checked that. 17th as well for Esteban Ocon, 17:09.96 in his 126th Grand Prix start. Okay, Jess, coming to you. What are you expecting then? Unpredictable or predictable chaos? Because there is a 10% chance of rain, but in Singapore, humidity is all over the place.
I think it's going to be unpredictable, and that's what I like about Formula One. Hopefully we'll see a different winner today. I would love to see Lando Norris get his first win. That would be, I think, really good for Singapore to produce a maiden win. I really do. That's who I want to win. But who I think is going to win, I'm going to still stick with Carlos Sainz.
Megan's not with us in the commentary box, but she will be joining the Discord commentary box with her camera off if anything happens during the race that she wants to be involved in, because we've given her...
Like Alonso.
Exactly, yeah. Live now, by the way, on the red button and on F1 TV is the Sky Sports Kids, where they've been given lip mics and everything. Not at all jealous that they're now commentating with lip microphones and proper headsets as well in the commentary box. Not at all jealous at all, but I'll be watching that after the race. So, here we go then. The toughest, the longest, the one they all train for, the Singapore Grand Prix at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Track temperature 36 degrees, air temperature 29. Inside the cockpit, it is over 60 degrees. They are boiling. They are baking. They're all set to go for lights out here for the Singapore Grand Prix of 2023. All set to go then under the lights. Formula One's original night race returns once more. Welcome to the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. It's round 15 of the 2023 World Championship. We're all expecting Red Bull to wrap up the Constructors' Championship today. Oh, how the tables turn. For the first time since Russia in 2018, they start outside the top 10. Liam Lawson, in just his third Grand Prix, takes 10th. That's just one of the challenges that this fantastic 4.940 kilometre circuit has. And this year, it looks just a little bit different. A new zone, no longer going around the marina section. It is straight down towards turns 16 and 17, the new chicane, which could be very interesting in terms of braking and overtaking. The track 9 seconds a lap faster. Back in 2011, Rosberg versus Perez was the dive bomb on the inside of turn 1. They ended up getting on the marbles and having a major incident as well, bringing out the safety car. That was down at turn 6 and 7. And down at turn 7 last year, Verstappen on the inside of Lando Norris. A double lock-up in trying conditions sent him down. Seems to be a habit that Verstappen doesn't have great races here at Singapore. He's only ever led 3 laps here back in 2018. Giovinazzi's led more. He's led 4. And down at turn 14, Kubica versus Hülkenberg side by side in a great Grand Prix tying battle as well. Ended up with Alonso winning and the Caterham on fire. And in terms of the tyre compounds, Pirelli have brought the softest here as well. In what could be a one-stop race, more details on that later. It's the red soft C5, yellow medium C4, white hard C3, just in case we need it with a 10% chance of rain, green intermediate and blue wet weather tyres. Here's your starting grid then for the Formula One Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix of 2023. From back to front, not taking part, is launched after his crash yesterday, Zhou Guanyu. Also, new power unit starts from the pit lane. Logan Sargent starts 18th on his first appearance here. Oscar Piastri is P17 on the grid. Moving further up, Valtteri Bottas starts in 16th with Yuki Tsunoda. No time set in Q2 due to an impediment. He's 15th. Alexander Albon is 14th. Sergio Perez back out in Q2. He's down in 13th place. Gasly in 12th, but Max Verstappen starting 11th. He chases his 11th win in a row. Good place to do it from. Liam Lawson out-qualified both of them. He goes top 10. His best result just his third Grand Prix. Nico Hülkenberg starts 9th. Esteban Ocon starts 8th, a new career best here. Fernando Alonso starts in 7th position alongside him. And then Kevin Magnussen, a new career best in 6th. Lewis Hamilton inside the top 5 as well here at Singapore. 4th on the grid though, that goes Lando Norris with Charles Leclerc taking in 3rd position as well. Front row of the grid though, it's George Russell alongside Carlos Sainz, who has his 2nd pole in a row and his 5th pole of his career. Well, while we sync up with TV pictures, because apparently we're out of sync, alongside me in the commentary box is Josh T, alongside as well Jess Ball. Omi is down in the pit lane for us. And Jess, we'll start with you. Good evening to you. All set to rock and roll once again in Singapore. And what an atmosphere we've got going for us as well.
Well, I had to make sure that my mic was unmuted then for a little bit because I was sorting out a few stuff. Yes, very exciting Grand Prix. Could be chaos, could be some great battles coming up as well with the new added additions to the track as well, which makes it faster. I think we're going to see some quite intense situations and strategies coming up as well. Interestingly, that Mercedes have got some medium tyres saved as well, so they got some fresh mediums that might come into effect later on in the race that could benefit them in a way as well. Red Bull was saying that they looked better in race pace compared to quali pace. Will that translate there as well? Can they get up to near the top 3? I personally think they can, but if they're struggling like they did in free practice yesterday, then they could have some issues. Lots of unknowns, but looking forward to it. And happy birthday, Omi.
Happy birthday, Omi, indeed. I'm going to repeat that all throughout the broadcast. We'll hear from me in a second. Josh T's with us as well as the formation lap gets underway here in Singapore. What do you reckon, Josh, going into today's race? It's going to be quite an interesting one, and nobody knows exactly what we're going to see. Good evening.
Yep, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to wherever you are watching from around in the world. Only 18 cars on the grid, 9 rows, 1 from the pit lane, 1 withdrawn from the event, the 1 starting from the pit lane, as we said, Zhou Guanyu, and the 1 non-starting from the massive accident yesterday in Q1, Lance Stroll. We have got a very interesting race up ahead, and I think Liam Lawson looked up on
he did.
The formation lap. There's a massive puff of smoke, and of course the Marina Bay Street Circuit hosted the first Formula One race in 2008, as old as me, the Marina Bay Street Circuit. But here's the possible race strategies.
Yep, if it's a one-stop medium for 25 laps, then take the hards for 37, and then softs for an alternative strategy for 20 laps, then take the hards to the end as well. Starting tyres, mediums for Sainz, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Magnussen, Alonso, Ocon, Hülkenberg, as well going into it. Just waiting to see what the others are on our starting tyres up here in the comments box, because I can't quite tell.
We could check on the T feed,
Yeah,
couldn't
here we
we?
go.
Oh, it's not letting me do it on the T feed.
Yeah, Lawson also starts on the mediums, as does Gasly, Albon and Sargent. Starting on the hards are Verstappen, Perez and Bottas. Starting on the softs, Leclerc, but he's on an old set of soft compound tyres. Tsunoda, Piastri and Zhou starting in the pit lane as well. They're the old tyres. Right, let's go and catch up with Omi then. Happy birthday, Omi. all set then for the race today. How many pit stops do you think? Ferrari were quick in race strategy by 7/10 to Red Bull. Red Bull off the pace. Ferrari's day to lose. It could be the best birthday present you could ask for. A Ferrari win for the first time in over a year.
Yeah, absolutely. We could be getting something similar. I just hope that we don't get what happened on my last birthday when there was an F1 race around this circuit as well. But yeah, gonna be a great race. Leclerc on the soft tyres, so he will definitely be trying to get the jump as well on George Russell. Russell will be trying to get the jump on Sainz. It's all gonna be important right at the race start to see who can gain some positions. But we're in for an absolutely fantastic Singapore Grand Prix.
Formation lap over. Time to get ready. Everyone lining up. Pole position for Carlos Sainz is on the left-hand side of the TV picture. George Russell is on the right. Behind them is Leclerc and Norris. Hamilton 5th. Magnussen, Alonso, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Lawson the top 10. Verstappen, Gasly, Perez, Albon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Piastri, Sargent on the grid. Zhou in the pit lane. Stroll out with injury as well, saying he's too sore. 2 hours around a modified circuit. It always goes the full distance here. It always goes chaotic. 100% chance of safety car. 100% chance of drama. 62 laps ahead of us. Sargent lining up at the back. A new format on the grid as well in terms of it. Rebecca Lee, our new race starter, will press the button. She will activate the 5-light procedure. It's one at a time, then a random pause when she decides to press the button. 5 lights on. It's action in Singapore, and it's a good start from George Russell, but in the second phase, bogs down. Charles Leclerc comes alongside him. Sainz leads into turn 1. Leclerc takes second. Lawson had a good start as well. Off the track goes Lewis Hamilton. He'll rejoin alongside his teammate George Russell. And side by side, Ocon trying to go on the outside of Hulkenberg. Hamilton's ahead of Russell, but will have to give the place back. And there goes Lando Norris, and Russell now down to 4th as Hamilton takes 3rd, but will have to give the place back. He cut turn 1. Russell's going to go alongside him. There's sparks flying everywhere. One of the Williamses are pulling out of the way as Hamilton will let him through. Russell around the outside of turn 7. Norris is still there, and Lewis is just not giving the place back. Alonso's under pressure. He's gone past the Hasses, and now coming back on the inside line. That is Magnussen and Hulkenberg. Contact with one of the Alpines as well on the wall. Magnussen trying to pass Ocon. Round the outside, not working. Ocon goes through. Magnussen and Hulkenberg now in a battle. Hamilton in an illegal 3rd position. Is all chaos further back. Jess, what a start.
Yes, what a start from everybody at the moment. As our fitness will be going on in the background. Are you ready for Russell?
So you're going to let me back past, or...?
Yeah.
Well, he's got to.
He's got to.
He's got to.
And is he doing it down towards turn number 14? I don't think he is. Alonso's under pressure from Esteban Ocon. There's a Williams further back as well under pressure. I believe that's Albon who's attacking with Sargent as everyone's looking up. They've got no grip. Coming down.
Tsunoda's had an issue.
We've got a yellow flag. A yellow flag is out on the track as well. Down into turn 13. So what's happened to Yuki Tsunoda? They're all dropping back further. Yellow sector 3.
There was smoke from a Alpha Tauri.
Yeah,
that was Tsunoda.
Tsunoda stopped. Tsunoda has stopped at turn 14. Well, it says green flag at the moment, but he's clearly now there's another yellow flag out. We can clearly see he's stopped on our driver tracker up here in the commentary box, as that might be our first safety car then. I wonder if he's gone in the wall. It's a tight exit at turn 14. It would make sense, but it's a long lap here. Tsunoda has stopped, and the yellow is down at turn 14. That's sector 14 on the track as well. It now says green flag, but Tsunoda is not moving on that driver tracker, so I don't know why the race controller keep yellow and greening it, but Hamilton ahead now in 3rd position. Russell 4th, not giving it back. Under attack from Lando Norris. And I think, Josh, as well, Hamilton is going to get a penalty. He did what he does every single year. It's a Hamilton trick to just go straight off, and that is Tsunoda out of the race completely. His car stranded, and I don't know where the safety car or virtual safety car is at the moment.
That was incredibly cheeky from Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell is back through, but yeah, that was so cheeky from Lewis Hamilton.
I've got a button to play.
Where's the yellow? We need something.
Engine issue for Tsunoda.
Tsunoda's
engine.
Engine. Thank you, Josh T. So Tsunoda out already. Oh, what did I say?
Where's his car?
think he's been pushed off the side
Is
of
he
the
still
track.
stranded?
Looks like he's
oh,
gone.
right, so it must be fine.
Thank you, Omi.
By the way, both had to drop down into 8th and 10th spot.
And Verstappen...
Not the best start for them.
Verstappen is already up into 9th position, so 2 retirements, 18 left in this race. Verstappen up to 9th. DRS has been enabled on the 3rd lap now as well. So for Yuki Tsunoda, it just gets miserable. He had a DNF here last year in 2022 as well. And failed to finish again.
The position back. Yeah, he just braked way too late. He committed to it, so he needs to give 2 positions back.
Hamilton does need to give 2.
Already raised it with the race director.
Yes, he does.
But they're going to do it for
the ball...
But he just committed to going off, so of course he could brake a lot later than me, you know.
But the rule is the race director can't tell the team to give the place back. It's under the team's discretion, but if the race director is not happy with it, Joe's it in. If the race director isn't happy with it, then they will refer that to the stewards, and then that driver involved will get a penalty. So, yeah.
So
Lewis committed to it and continued to accelerate while off the track to gain positions.
Yeah, and he's not the first time he's done that, because he did it back in 2017. He did it back in... Let's go down to Ted.
Norris passed. They won't do that. But quickly on the Ferrari strategy, that gamble has worked absolutely perfectly. Yes, Charles Leclerc might need to pit earlier, but they can control the pace from here. Round 1 to Ferrari. Nice one.
Cheers, Ted. Yeah, 1-2.
And with Leclerc on the softs, I think that gave them a huge advantage on Russell. As we're seeing, I think, Max Verstappen on Magnussen as he heads towards this next right-hander. A bit of a tank slapper from Verstappen. That's going to help Kevin Magnussen, who's on the mediums. Verstappen's on the hard compound tyres. Both Red Bulls, by the way, are on the hards. Bit of a gamble. It's not helping Perez, but it is helping Max Verstappen ever so slightly as they head towards sector 3.
Hamilton has now been noted for gaining an advantage over to Omi.
Yeah, it might have not been an engine issue. It might have collided with Perez, so we'll need to see a replay of it. It might be one of the two, because they did tell him to stop the engine, so it might be one of the two. We'll need to see.
All right, thanks, Omi.
So Leclerc's done a 1:47.52. He leads on the 4th lap of 62 here in Singapore. Sainz ahead of Leclerc by 1 second. Then it's Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Magnussen, Verstappen, Hülkenberg, and Verstappen being held up now by Kevin Magnussen. But now with the DRS down Raffles Boulevard, down towards the braking zone at turn 7. This is where Max locked up last year, trying to get ahead of Lando Norris. He's not done anything like that today, though.
Nope. He's finding it hard to get past, so
really,
maybe... Let's look at that race start then. So George get a good getaway, but Sainz was able to capitalise on that. And then we saw the likes of Charles Leclerc on those softs. Well, this is what happened to Lewis Hamilton. He cuts the chicane, and then he gets past not just George Russell, but Lando Norris.
Let's take a look on board, Josh. He was ahead of Lando going into turn 1, but he wasn't ahead of Russell. And that's what the stewards are going to be looking at here.
Yep, here he is.
But he's let Russell through. He let Russell through. Yeah. So is the investigation about him and Norris?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Lewis. Not in any way, shape or form.
Let's see Charles Leclerc start, because that was a really good getaway. I think much better reaction times to George there, but it does help he's on the soft tyres. He almost got Carlos Sainz for the lead there as well. Yeah, Leclerc's on an old set of compound tyre, remember, as he comes through. But
yeah,
he is.
Still important. Now, this is Piastri. There's Perez. There's Tsunoda. And as Omi said, it was contact. The front left of Perez touching the rear right. And Tsunoda out, engine and contact with the car. Here he is.
Tsunoda went out.
Puncture, I think. Yeah,
Puncher.
Just Perez.
Oh, so he managed to get into the escape road.
So why there was yellow flags out, I don't know, because he was way off the track. So maybe they couldn't see him. That's why they just had to put the yellows out.
So what's the replay then? Is it just going to be a repeat of George's radio?
No, that's
Hamilton Hamilton letting him through. I don't get why it's being no further investigation.
Yeah, I was thinking that because he let George back through.
Yes, he let George back through, and Lewis was ahead of Norris heading into turn 1.
Oh, and that's Verstappen. So, is that how we got ahead of Hülkenberg? Yeah, coming out of turn 13.
That was that. Yeah. So before he gets to turn 1, he was ahead of Norris. So I don't know why Norris was complaining that Hamilton gained an advantage on him. So
look at that, 0.34 for Sainz's reaction time, 0.4 as well. But in the start analysis, it was Russell in the second phase of the start who did get a better getaway. That's why I said he got a better getaway compared to Sainz.
Possibly could have been that the whole time that Hamilton was in front of Russell, Hamilton was gaining an advantage. And then
gaining
when
an advantage on right.
Yeah, so, and then if you go back, even when Hamilton let Russell back through, there was still a bigger gap than there was between Russell and Norris.
He's let. Oh, we did see that. He let Norris through.
He's let Lando through as well. Now he didn't need to do that in my book. The stewards have said no investigation necessary, but he's let Lando through. So maybe Lewis.
I don't think his engineer told him that.
No, so I reckon he's just done that because he's let Lando through completely. And now here's Max Verstappen once again.
Was that done before the steward said NFA? I don't even know. Anyway, Max Verstappen's on the back of Magnussen heading towards turn 7. I think it's going to be an easy move. Maybe Kevin Magnussen covers off to the inside. This is very difficult for Max Verstappen to get past. He wants to get past people ASAP. We thought that the Red Bull race pace was a lot better, but just being stuck behind slower guard is just not helping that Red Bull.
And
pit stops are going to be vital for Red Bull today.
Yeah, they're going to have to undercut a load. Say again?
Yeah, also, it looks like they were instructed by, that was the radio that we have been instructed. So I guess.
Surely the race director can't tell. That's weird. You're not allowed. He's not allowed. Oh, Max Verstappen's going to try and get past Magnussen.
He's got it.
He does it.
And that was crucial for Max because he needed to get ahead of the Haas. He was holding up too much in that race. So we've got the team radio playing now, so we'll hear it on the stream. Bernie Collins is down the pits.
Once they've got the tyre worn a little bit, begin to gradually push on those tyres, and they are opening the gap to Russell and Norris further behind that. Final interesting from Joe, the comment, he thinks he had a puncher, or Sonoda, sorry, a puncher then pulled off, because is that enough to retire on?
Perez along the inside, I don't think it was, but Perez getting ahead of Piastri for 13th place, going a bit too deep into turn 1. But I agree with Bernie. Don't think it was a lot for Sonoda to retire if he just had a puncture. It must have been something else wrong with the car to feel the need to retire from the event. It's not something that you usually see a lot of difference with between the two. Is Discord okay? Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
It's just that your names have become stuck open. Don't know what's happened.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. It's fixed it now, whatever it was that issue. Really bizarre. Your names became stuck open on the call. But okay, all back up and running now as well. As hello to Diggs, BTW7 says, hi, what's up? Hello everybody on the Twitch chat, and hello everybody on the YouTube chat as well. Paul says, God, I'm sorry I hit Lewis.
We're back on JB Motorsports 1.
Yes, finally. Hello. And I'm glad about that because I didn't want to miss this race. So I'm glad we haven't. So that's great
How did you get that fixed then? Did the claim get released?
I don't know what happened because I shouldn't have got it back until 4 p.m. today. I switched on at 11 and I just double-checked it to see, and it was on. So I thought, okay, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. So I thought, okay.
Yeah, don't complain. We've got access back, so boom.
So, apologies, by the way, for those of you watching on the main YouTube channel for not showing the practice or qualifying live. We were in a block, but we're back now, so we're all good.
For a day.
Yeah.
Whilst we were...
But we still did everything on JB2 and on Twitch, and we uploaded everything as well. So, thank you to everybody for sticking with us.
We were still going.
But this is the race that we wanted to see. It's lap 8 of 62. Sainz leads ahead of Leclerc, Russell 3rd, Norris 4th, Hamilton 5th, and there's Yuki Tsunoda back in the pit lane, now on the AlphaTauri pit wall. I really hope that Tsunoda didn't just retire thinking that there was a puncture, because you don't retire if there's a puncture.
As soon as you get within half a second, it's incredible how little fun we have.
Was that George? Sounded like George.
No, that was Albon.
That was Albon, yeah. They sound so similar on the radio. Yeah, it was Alexander Albon on the radio. We just heard talking about it all as well. So you can hear the team radio coming through now on the broadcast, which is great news for us. We turn it off at lights out, so it doesn't interrupt us. Sainz 1 second now to Leclerc.
Birthday boy we're on board with.
And he's going to be wanting some podiums ahead of his former teammate Alonso.
board with Esteban Ocon, but we're getting Fernando Alonso's data.
Yeah. FOM have been having that issue all weekend. Like yesterday, we thought Tsunoda had knocked out Verstappen, but it was Lawson because they got it wrong. They got the timing graphics wrong. It's a signal.
it was very weird. It got confusing, but at least we brought you back the action.
The signal is just going absolutely wrong this weekend, but still, it's looking good so far. As we continue on, Sainz leads, and look at that, he's just taken, Leclerc's just taken 0.4 of a second ahead now, so Leclerc is closing in on the data pattern we needed to see here. The race just quietening down now, 62 laps, a new duration here with the removal of the chicane, adding 10 seconds back. Zhou Guanyu, I think, is the one who has got the worst situation at the moment, because he
started in the pits.
Yeah, and he came in at the end of lap 2. And he has now, he's so far behind, 21 seconds back to Bottas.
Not ideal for Zhou. But he set fastest lap though on those hards, surprisingly.
Many people saying this could be the race of the year with Red Bull being out of contention. All I say is that Verstappen's starting on the hard tyres and he's 8th. It's lap 9 of 62. There's an awful long way to go.
I think he would have climbed up if he would have started on mediums, personally. I think he should have started on the mediums or the softs.
He's playing the
Probably the softs.
Is he banking on a safety car then at the pit stop window? Is that what he's... Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Battle for the lead, Carlos Sainz versus Charles Leclerc.
Omi's currently having a panic attack. He doesn't want these two to take each other off, and Ferrari...
They won't.
Well, as I said, back in 1988, McLaren were in a season of dominance until they reached Monza, and that was, guess what, round 15 of the season. They got beat by Ferrari with a 1-2, Berger ahead of Michele Alboreto, and that was a week after...
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
I was looking at notes from that, but yeah.
It was a week after the death of the founder, Enzo Ferrari, of course. So it was an important win on home soil, and now Ferrari are 1-2 at a circuit they've won at many a time before. They won here in 2010, and they won here in 2015 with Vettel, and they won here in 2019 with Vettel. So they're 3 times a winner at this circuit across the last 14 race appearances. Sainz has just done a 139.626. He's got the fastest lap of the race, and Ferrari comfortably controlling a race. It's looking like the old days, as we hear from Charles Leclerc.
And target gap to Sainz. We need 3 seconds. At the moment, it's 1.0.
Oh, so that's an instruction to Charles Leclerc to back off.
Gap to Sainz.
Wow.
We need 3 seconds. At the moment, it's 1.0.
There you can hear it again on the T feed from the pit lane channel. And yeah, okay, so that's basically an instruction for Charles Leclerc to not overtake Carlos Sainz in the first pit stop. I think, Jess, that's a big. And look, the gap now 1.2. So Leclerc's backed off, but it's Leclerc.
I'm guessing they don't want to have any issues in terms of if they squabble too much for position, are they going to lose time? But it didn't make that much effect in Monza when they were fighting. To be honest, originally I thought it wasn't good with them fighting, but it made good entertainment.
Pit stop window opens in 5 laps for those who start on the soft tyres. Zhou was the only other, and he's changed onto hard compound tyre. Tsunoda's out of the race, so it's only Charles Leclerc who's out there on soft compound tyres. With that knowledge, he's on 12-lap-old tyres. They're the tyres that did 2 laps in qualifying 3 yesterday, so they've still got a lot of life in them. But yeah, I think Ferrari want Leclerc to back Russell up here and stop Russell having a go, so that Sainz gets a free pit stop.
Yeah, Gasly lap time deleted. Track limits at turn 7, lap 6.
First one. The first one.
5 laps ago. Come on, FIA.
Yeah, luckily it says it on the T feed, so I'm able to
Sainz radio.
Have a look. That's confidence. I love that.
Where's this been from Ferrari all year long? Finally, this is a track where their car works. Yeah, there you go. I can go forever on this pace. Sainz loving life out there, going after his 2nd ever Grand Prix win. His first, of course, came at the British Grand Prix in 2022. He's had 5 pole positions now.
What a race last year, though, in Silverstone last year with Sainz. And through goes Hamilton. It was a great race, a really great race.
Similar situation developing here, actually. Red Bull were off the pace that weekend. Verstappen started further down the field, and now look what's happening. It's all getting a bit similar.
I'm surprised Verstappen is not getting past Ocon.
Forever at this pace, the tyres seem to be performing well. Verstappen is hoping.
Looks like they're going to sacrifice Leclerc.
Wait, why, Bernie, are you talking over a team radio?
Hopefully we'll hear that again on the T feed in a second when it gets played through on the pit lane channel.
Yeah.
So Ocon in P7 and Verstappen behind, both have DRS but can't find a way past Alonso, who seems perfectly content to manage his pace and not worry about the view in his mirrors at the moment. Will anyone start thinking about the undercut? That's from F1.com's radio as well from Becky. And yeah, Alonso is creating a train. There's 2 seconds between Hamilton and Alonso, and then right behind, look, Alonso, Ocon, Verstappen, Mansell, they're all starting to get up on the train. Look at the graphic actually on the driver track. You can see it coming through, and we're now on board with Max Verstappen. There's Ocon ahead of him, and Alonso just ahead of him, and they're struggling now to get in the tents, to get in the gaps, and actually find a way through. So this is looking very much like Verstappen's just playing the ultra-long game. There is 51 laps to go at this race. It's lap 12 of 62.
Looks like it, and chasing down Ocon. Verstappen currently in 8th, but Perez all the way down in 13th, who is in DRS reigns to the driver who knocked out Max Verstappen in Q2, Liam Lawson.
1.4 seconds, the gap between Ocon and Verstappen. Amy?
Yeah, now Mercedes are obviously now going to have to, are looking to go different. Plan B there, considering as well now, are Mercedes to try do something different now to Ferrari after, obviously they've been, after they've seen that Leclerc might try back Russell up a tiny bit. And then there's also some other teams really considering different stuff like Piastri, also looking at plan C. So a lot of different plans all over the place right now.
Hulkenberg going defensive. Yeah, plan Z. Ocon, that was Gasly, sorry, just coming up on the behind Hulkenberg coming into turn 10 and 11, so just drifted over from turn 13 to try and stop it. Sainz, though, at the moment, 1.3 now the gap, but the pit stop window for Leclerc opens in 2 laps, so we'll keep you updated with what's going on. Ferrari seem like they just want to throw Leclerc to the wolves right now, and all focuses on Carlos Sainz, but Jess, how crucial is it for Frederic Vasseur right now to make sure that he doesn't blow it? Monza was a big disappointment after starting on pole position. Now they've got an opportunity for 1-2, and let's hear from Leclerc.
So later.
I think Carlos is knocked up.
Copy, understood.
And that,
is Leclerc faster than Sainz?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's asking. That's the team order.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to sacrifice Leclerc.
That was Russell's radio again from ages ago, so that needs to be caught up a little bit. But that's exactly the point. That is 110% for Leclerc asking, I would like to be put in forward, please.
Yeah.
Oh, God, not that drama again.
Look at Ferrari, they're all just sat there. There's Benedict Vigano as well, the Chief Executive Officer at Ferrari. He's here this weekend, so there's an awful lot of pressure on Fred Vasseur to make sure this is right. But Sainz isn't slowing down. I'm trying to look his last. Let's have a look at the leaderboard here, because we can see the best lap times compared to the two. So Sainz's last lap time was a 1:40.5. His fastest lap was a 1:39.6. So I don't think he's slowing down that much as you're thinking. If anything,
no.
Leclerc's faster in Sector 2 and Sector 3, but only by a couple of thousandths. He's not slowing down that much. Don't think there's a problem there. Really don't. Omi, could you just check that the Russell radio that's just popped up on the commentary was what we already heard a few laps ago? Because I was slightly...
I think we didn't hear that. The one we heard was Leclerc.
Yeah, because I was slightly worried, because I think it's behind slightly, the T-feed radio, so if we miss anything, I apologise.
I'll find some ways to play it.
Thank you. It does auto-play, but I don't think it's auto-playing. There's Gasly now in 11th, right behind.
I will say it again. There is no merit at this stage in being within 1 second of Ocon. Sainz is still doing 40.3s. Been here before, been hurt before. You might not think you are pushing that, but the effective V ratio, as we've seen before, is very low.
Ooh.
I'm liking the fact that his engineer is giving him some hope.
Exclusive.
And I think he's being very calm.
You won't hear that radio message anywhere else of them here on the watch line. So that was Verstappen being told by GP, his race engineer, we've been here before, we've been hurt before, but the pace is good. Keep on going. The gap is low, so that's good. That's very good. So they're keeping Max cool. He's in 8th place right now. The gap between him and Ocon is 1.8 seconds, but he's on the hard tyres.
He's only 3 tenths off the leader.
Yeah, he's not that bad at all. Hamilton's just set the fastest first sector as well at 28.851, so he's very much well on the marks.
Yeah.
There's the Ferris wheel looking around on the circuit.
I have to say, Russell's now getting closer to Leclerc as well.
Yes, he is. It's a second now, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that.
Look at, so he's gained a second, Sainz.
Leclerc radio, this will be why.
For one.
Gap to Sainz, target 3.
So he wants to be 3 seconds behind Sainz.
Yeah, copy our try, but them I'll risk it. So they want Sainz to have a clear gap for the pit stop and leave Leclerc out there a little bit longer.
Jess, you said when Bernie Collins talked over the radio, can Bernie Collins... So I'm now going to say, Jess, can you stop talking over the radio, please?
Sorry. What radio did I talk over?
That one there. There was also one just there. Something came through on the TV.
I didn't hear it.
I'm struggling to hear it as well. It's not the greatest, is it? So we can see the ones that pop up on the TV screen, but if we miss any on the pit lane channel, we apologise because we don't get an audio beep. They just play automatically, so it's like we have to hear and stop talking immediately. So apologies if we miss one or two of those.
Luckily, we never really talk over radios too much. I've only heard like Josh B talk over it 2 times.
Yeah.
Since March. So.
Yeah. And if that's the case, it's something dramatic's happening, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
No, we were just waffling. You probably weren't looking at the screen.
I've got so many screens in front of me. I'm probably not looking at the main screen because I'm looking at the driver tracker right now to see that Leclerc has just done a 1:39.613, which is the fastest lap of the race so far. I was watching his middle sector times improving, and he's now faster by 0.3 of a second than Sainz on that last lap. So screw what Ferrari've told him. Leclerc's just going for it. And Sainz is going to have to push harder.
Want me to play Leclerc's radio? So
Yes.
I think I found it.
Yes, please, Jess.
Hold on. Oh, it's not playing. What the hell?
I could hear it slightly. Someone was talking in the background. Hopefully it'll play automatically in a second. Sainz coming through then. He leads by 2.2 seconds. The gap needs to be 3 seconds. Pit stop window is now open for those with the soft tyres. And that is only Leclerc.
Oh, because I have the thing muted. Oh, I'm an absolute idiot. Let me try again. Oh, no, that didn't work.
Gap to Sainz, target 3.
Oh, so that was the one that was played before.
Yeah, we've got it. So, cheers, Jess. Oh, Verstappen radio is coming on in a second. I think we've already heard that one. That's good. So, look at that. Sainz's first sector is we'll put it on the battle screen. Sainz's first sector, 29.071. Leclerc 29.323, and then in the second sector, Sainz 42.4, Leclerc 42.3. So Leclerc's just sort of not playing the game here. He's keeping the gap at 2.2 seconds, not keeping it what it needs to be.
Yep, and down to Omi in the pits.
Yeah, I was just going to say Leclerc's latest was a tiny bit of an update of the gaps and a bit of tyre management at turn 18.
Okay. Fastest lap now to Sainz with a 1:39.398. Does no. So the last sector for Sainz was a 27.873. Leclerc 27.915. So the gap now 2.3 seconds as they come across the middle sector. Sainz then improving on this race. No safety car yet, which I am finding incredibly surprising.
You said it now.
Well, it's 100%. There's Gianpiero Lambesi, the race engineer for Verstappen GP. He's known in the paddock. He's on the pit wall. Why? Okay. GP's not usually on the pit wall. Usually GP's in the pit lane. So I think it's all hands on deck, really, isn't it, for Red Bull today? That's why he's probably there. Here's Leclerc.
So gap to Sainz in front, 2.3, and we need 5 seconds in 5 laps.
Was that 5 seconds in 5 laps? They want to pit Leclerc at lap 23.
they're going to let Russell through then.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because Russell's going to be faster. So, but that defeats the object.
Do they not realise that? What's the bloody point?
2.3 and we need 5 seconds in 5 laps.
Yep, had it confirmed to us here again. 5 seconds in 5 laps. So that's basically he's got to.
So that's a second a lap.
Yeah, but realistically 2.5. Because he's already 2.5 back. So does he need an additional 5 seconds, or is that 5 seconds in total in the next 5 laps? Well, he's dropping 2.7, but here comes Russell. Russell's coming in as well. So this is a real mind game of a race to play, as Gasly has been on the back of Hulkenberg. And Hulkenberg sliding coming out of turn 17 as well. Gasly's right on him, trying to find a way through. On board with his deltas. Great speed of the exit. The onboard microphones are out of sync compared to the TV graphics as he comes through. Down to turn 1, down to 3rd gear, flick the car in, back up on the power. Interesting enough in fuel saving mode. Here's Russell.
Intense of his teammates.
Let me know what our best shot winning his race is, what I need to do. So we need to keep the pressure on these Ferraris.
So George thinks he could win this race.
Let me know what our best shot winning his race is, what I need to do. So we need to keep the pressure on these Ferraris.
That's going to get annoying, hearing it twice. Anyway, come on. Yeah.
So George thinks he could win this race.
It's not on the range of possibility. I'm still looking at Max Verstappen in P8. I think that's an option.
I'm still saying Sainz.
Sainz.
Oh, Verstappen in the wall.
Like a possible
rain?
brief and light rain shower approaching. Could be here in 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Lanes get wet first. On the radar, this would be class 1 and last only a couple of minutes.
Well,
that's
so Leclerc
what
going on the
Leclerc.
sauce may be the wrong decision.
So that's no doubt why they're trying to keep Leclerc out for another 5 minutes, because they knew the rain shower, but they didn't say rain. They said it another way.
5 seconds in 5 laps. That's what it meant. Oh, they are good. Ferrari are actually using their Prix brain caps without the. Yeah, well, to be fair,
Ferrari are doing something right.
Rain shower approaching. Could be here in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and there's the rain.
Look at that.
And there's the rain, and it was in 5 minutes. Ferrari have actually been geniuses, and look, everyone's now looking for intermediate tyres. Wow, it was a 10% chance.
Well, McLaren were predicting it as well, to be fair.
I can't. Wow, that's coming. They sound proud on the radio.
How are you feeling about the race so far? We're kind of stuck in a waiting game for something to happen at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, we're waiting to see who makes what move win. Maybe we'll pit this lap, maybe we won't.
How are the tyres on Lando Norris's McLaren?
Tyres are good. I think everyone's managing the same race, and the field is so condensed that if anyone stops now, they'll come out in big traffic. So I think everyone's going to see how long they can go here.
Tempted with Oscar in P14 to try something a little different.
Yellow flag. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off there. We've got a yellow flag on the track. It's down at sector 7.
Sergeant.
Logan Sargent is off the track. Apologies for the interruptions. So has he gone straight on?
That looks like.
Oh, it's turn 8.
Oh.
And
he's going back on the circuit.
He's
Should we
locked
hear from
up.
Zach again?
Yeah, he's locked up and he's hit the wall and he's broken the front wings. A bit of debris now. Oh, there's now a lot of debris with the front wing flapping around on the track as well.
Here's the safety
Surely
car.
if
This
you-
is going to be a safety car.
Surely a VSC at this point.
Track surface
VSC or
slippery.
safety car.
Track surface slippery
Probably
in sector
they
7.
can get away with a VSC, I think.
Nah, it's going to be
No,
all over.
no, it's got to be a safety car.
It's going to be all over
There's
the
debris
track.
on the track.
If that comes loose, it's going to fly everywhere. And he's got to be so careful. He's scraping it underneath, so he's going to lock up coming into turn 7.
So what happens? So he hit the wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Picture's
And the
breaking up.
Alfa Romeo just about avoided that. That was, I think, Bottas.
Yes. No, it was Zhou. It was Zhou. Zhou's now ahead of Sargent on the track, so it was Zhou Guanyu.
Oh, right, okay.
I hope Sargent knows that that wing is still underneath him. He's scraping it back to the pit lane. As it now, marshals have gone out
No,
to...
that's turn 4.
Jess, remind me to send you the track map.
Wait, hang on.
That's turn 14. He's now... he's coming down towards 15 and out of the new section at 16 and 17.
Oh, it's so confusing.
Look at the driver tracker.
Sorry.
You complained yesterday in qualifying that I never sent my track notes. Safety car!
Safety car!
Wow! There's the chance of a safety car, and it's come out now. Now, why is it a full safety car? Why is that needed?
Because of the amount of debris across certain, like, there's a lot of debris across most of the track.
Now this is a perfect opportunity. Look at that. Leclerc's backing Russell up. Sainz has gone ahead. This is perfect for Ferrari. This has been perfect.
Look at the gap.
15 seconds
11
lost.
seconds. This is great.
Yeah, box. This is great.
For the win.
So this safety car's come at the right time. Sargent will stay in the race. They'll change a wing. He won't lose a lap. Boxing now for Sainz. Leclerc should box with him. He's holding up Russell on the driver tracker. So and they're all in. Ferrari are going to double stack. This is going to get very, very busy. In a second, Russell's coming in as well. The safety car, lap 21 of this race, has played a blinder. So here comes Leclerc. Ferrari need to do a super stop here for a double stack. Hard tyres go on.
Good stop.
This is good for Ferrari. They've got it ready for Leclerc. In comes Charles Leclerc now. Russell will go through, and it's going to be released. Hamilton's going to be there too. They need to hold him. Now let him go. Now. Go, go, go. And that is a mighty good stop.
Stop.
Verstappen has stayed out. Verstappen will go up to P2. He will not take the lead. Russell gets out. Hamilton's in 2. And that is Charles Leclerc been jumped by Russell and by Norris. It hasn't worked out for Leclerc. And Verstappen. Yeah, there's Max coming round turn 1 and 2. And there's that Perez staying out. It is. So Perez on the hard tyre goes up to 4th position as well. Big gamble for the two Red Bulls.
They're waiting for the rain. They're waiting for the rain.
This is huge. Was it the right decision to go into the safety car? Was it not? Is it the decision to stay out there on the track? And
I think for Red Bull, they made the right decision staying out.
Well, this is going to be very entertaining. If it rains, everyone's going to come into the pit lane anyway. It could be for another interesting race like in the Dutch Grand Prix. But Sainz leads, Verstappen second. Verstappen on 21 lap old hard tyres, the same as Perez, but Sainz on you.
Bottas stayed out as well.
Yeah, Bottas has jumped up the order into P10 now as well. All hell breaking loose here in Singapore, exactly as we wanted to see. And it is because of the debris on the track.
Right. It's good to see Verstappen actually working to get a race win. If he gets a race win from that, that'll be impressive.
Let's take a look on board with Fernando Alonso. This is him coming into the pit lane from 8th place. Now what? Oh, he's locked up. Oh, he missed the pit.
If he's locked up, surely you'll get away with that.
It's before the entrance line to the pit lane. So to me, that's okay. Because he's locked up on the entry.
Surely he locked up, so he should be fine.
Yeah, because look, the commitment, the line for the pit lane is just before that.
Yeah, he was committed anyway, Leclerc.
We had to hold you for...
Oh, and it was Hamilton.
We had to hold you for traffic.
It was Hamilton who held him up. Hamilton was slow in the pit lane because he couldn't turn in, so that was unfortunate for Leclerc, but it's great news for Sainz. Omi, what do you make of this all so far?
Yeah, absolute chaos. Ferrari's logic would have been they aren't expecting the rain to have too much of an impact. Alonso has been...
under investigation. It's been noted.
Yeah, so it's been noted as well. Alonso and Aston Martin were saying that the rain, if it is to hit, then at turn number 1. But yeah, debris all the way through from turn 8 down towards turn number 12. So they all had to be a tiny bit careful with that one. But and that's why we have the safety car. But yeah, a really, really interesting restart here. And it's caused a lot of chaos. But Red Bull will need the rain to hit and hit very, very badly.
Like
what
now.
I'm predicting.
Well, this is 5 minutes. This safety car going to extend it. Now we did, I'm sorry to say this, but we did 22 laps in around about 38 minutes. Now there's 41 to go. To my knowledge, we're going to maybe hit the clock. And Alonso is under investigation. The safety car is in this lap. So Alonso, yeah.
Already?
Yep. I think that could have been a virtual safety car, in my opinion. But Zhou and Sargent haven't caught up to the field. I know they don't need to wait for that to happen, but they could and give them back a race. Zhou's going to catch up. Sargent's not.
Surely on the game, they had to allow people to catch up. But if it's 3 laps or more that the safety car's been out, then they go in anyway. Oh, the debris still in. The safety car should still be on track.
Jess going so loud that it's deafening her microphone. But yeah.
Sorry.
We couldn't hear it. We heard some of that, but not all of it.
No, I'll say again. The safety car should be on track to the debris.
That is someone can go and get that. Hopefully it won't take too long to pick it up. It's a little bit, but yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry for being angry. It's just there was debris there, and there's still the safety car is going to come in.
Right.
It's just like...
They should be able to quickly do it now before Logan Sargent gets through. He's making his way through turn 17 right now.
Science radio.
What do you think is the plan for this? The plan is to keep the pack together, so don't pull away. Should be doable with Max behind on use the hard. And watch for debris still. Debris on track still.
Yeah, so keep...
Yeah, so that was earlier on, so the debris is still there. So safety car is up despite debris still being visible on track, but they might be able to grab it. Oh, that was Verstappen nearly hitting the back side.
The plan is to keep the pack together, so don't pull away.
Safety car's in.
Should be doable with Max behind on use the hard. And watch for debris still. Debris on track
Verstappen
still.
is not used to... We heard this way before.
Yeah.
Verstappen is not used to being behind another car doing a safety car restart.
He's not. Safety car is green, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, and Verstappen!
Oh!
You're not allowed to do that. You're not. Well, we know that Carlos Sainz likes to back them up, a bit like Max Verstappen. Verstappen's not allowed to go side by side after Abu Dhabi 2021.
That's all okay in the box, right?
Go.
Yeah, copy. Yep, that's all okay.
Just trying not to hit car, that's all.
We're racing. We are racing.
That was a late radio.
That was Hamilton in the pit lane, but it's green flag racing again. And it's a great restart from Carlos Sainz, but not a great restart from Verstappen. He's going to be very vulnerable here to George Russell. Lando Norris on the back of Perez too as they come through turn 1 and 2. And Red Bull now looking very, very vulnerable. Incredibly vulnerable. They've got no traction coming out of the corners. And Russell should be able to dart through down Raffles Boulevard. He's got a great exit out of turn 5, down the kink at 6. And Verstappen knows it. He's looking in his mirrors. Russell's right there on fresher tyres. Lando Norris going for Perez. Lando to the inside. George to the outside line. Max defends. Lando's going to have a go. And coming in all out of shape is Charles Leclerc. He goes off the track. Lewis Hamilton trying to go around the outside of him and takes the position.
Oh, George.
Alonso's trying to go through.
George to the outside. No, he doesn't get past.
Russell can't get through on Verstappen, but Verstappen's holding him up. Verstappen.
5-second time penalty for Fernando
And
Alonso.
Russell's trying to go around the outside. Russell ran the outside and they got the Singapore sling. It didn't work out. Verstappen tried to block him on the inside line. As just said, Alonso, 5-second time penalty for cutting that corner. Not really my opinion. Perez goes defensive. Lando's trying to come through.
And there's Alonso. No, Alonso's down in 8th. I thought I was Alonso trying to get...
Russell,
there's...
Lando trying to pass.
As well trying to get past Norris.
And Perez is so slow out of the corners and now down the back straight of Raffles Boulevard. Russell's on the outside line. Russell's going to go for it. And Lando's past Perez as well. And Hamilton's going low in the brakes as well. Hamilton side by side with Perez. Did he get through? Camera cuts away. Hamilton's on the outside and they make contact. What's happened?
No, but he hasn't got past. But he's going to try and get past again. Past the pit lane towards the final corner.
No, can't get it, but he's got the drag. Verstappen on old tyres has lost out. Perez goes defensive down towards turn 1. Hamilton trying to swing round the outside line. Fantastic racing in Singapore. Russell's on the back of Sainz now. A second between them. Verstappen already 1.7 seconds down to Sainz. And Verstappen was left to be mugged by George Russell and Perez with Norris both in the same part of the track.
I've got a team radio from Hulkenberg.
2 seconds. Here's Hamilton on the outside of Perez down towards turn 7. Perez on the inside line. Hamilton and Red Bulls haven't gone well in the past. They still haven't. Hamilton's off the track. Stays ahead, but might have to get the place back. I'm not too sure. Jess has a radio.
Yeah, I've got a radio. I will play that for you right now. It's from Nico Hulkenberg.
I have lost brake efficiency. Finally cold.
Brake temps are okay. We're checking everything.
So brakes have gone on Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
And Peugeot's passed Bottas, so Peugeot's caught back up to the field. Where is Hulkenberg?
Hulkenberg is 14th. He's dropped way down.
Leclerc had a moment coming out of turn 7 as well. And there goes Lando Norris on the inside of Max Verstappen for 3rd position.
Sorry.
Max is going to try and get back past him. I don't think he's going to have to run necessarily down the second Raffles Boulevard. And no, he's not. He can't get through.
When's the rain? That's the question.
I don't know if it's blown away or anything, because I'm not seeing anything else on the radar just yet. Josh T, I'm sure, or Omi are looking in. Josh T just put something in the Discord. I can't see at the moment. Alonso with that time penalty.
That was ages ago.
Oh, it's just popped up for me.
I haven't put anything in the Discord since before the start of the race, but okay.
Yeah.
DRS enabled.
This is just insanity right now happening in this race. There's 38 laps to go.
George is looking good.
Russell 1 second behind. If you keep the pack bounced up, he cannot do 2 stops. Russell cannot do 2 stops.
Yeah, but neither can Sainz. So you're basically just saying that we're stuck.
I don't know who I want to win this race between the two of them. I like both of them.
Watch Lando Norris. He's side by side with Max Verstappen. Verstappen pushes him in. Oh, is this Perez? This is Perez. Right, this is Leclerc going off the track and Hamilton going through. So, and this is Hamilton trying to pass Lando and Perez. And this is what happened when we cut away.
He eventually did it. He eventually did it.
1 second behind. He will keep the pack bounced up.
Oh, Perez forced him off.
Lewis Hamilton lap time deleted. Turn 7, lap 24.
And there's Lando getting ahead of Verstappen. We already heard that radio just a second ago, if you wonder why we're talking over it. Well, this race is turning into chaotic.
Sorry, Gasly and Magnussen looks to have also had a bit of things, so the stewards might look at it. Looks like they've had some rubbing and racing and a bit of, I think there's some off-track overtakes as well, so I think that's going to be looked at as well.
George, he's increased the gap so it's a little bit. Perez radio.
Hamilton run off the track. He went off. Yeah, we saw it.
No, he didn't.
Come on, give me the position now.
Sergio Perez.
He got a lap time deleted. That was it.
Didn't go off the track to overtake him. If anything, Perez blocked him off the track. I know Hamilton went off the track, but the overtake was practically already done. It's not that bad.
Well, we're going to hear it again anyway, knowing the TV.
Yeah, he didn't deliberately gain a position, so I don't know how the stewards will see that. The only penalty they've given is Alonso for going over the bollard.
I don't think that was a 5-second penalty. He locked up.
Yeah, we saw it. Come on, give me the position now.
Usually we hear more on the T feed, not this weekend it seems, but Russell on the back of Carlos Sainz. Russell, now Sainz is being told, back the pack up, keep them all together, because no one else can do a second stop.
To close so Leclerc can close up.
But the longer this...
Very clever.
Exactly, and the longer this happens as well, Leclerc will catch up, as you say, but it also screws the Red Bulls massively because they're 4th and 7th.
Ferrari are doing something right. I love you, Ferrari.
Say that in 5 laps' time when Russell's leading the race.
I don't care. As long as it's stopping the Red Bulls from winning, I don't mind.
Well, it was Mercedes last year who defeated Red Bull in their run from the Hungarian Grand Prix onwards. It was Mercedes.
No, it was Brazilian Grand Prix, not Hungarian.
No, Red Bull won from Hungary onwards. That's what I'm saying.
Because Mercedes won in Brazil last year.
No, what I'm saying is Ferrari won Austria and Silverstone, and then after that we went to Hungary.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
Red Bull went on a winning streak.
Black and white flag for Kevin Magnussen, forcing another driver off the track.
Yeah, so it was the fact that last year Red Bull went on the winning streak from Hungary onwards, and the only one to stop them was Mercedes at Sao Paulo. And then after that, it's now, could it be Mercedes stopping them again, or would it be Ferrari? That's what I'm going for.
And I just said what was on the screen, so yeah, I got there first.
I don't know if Gasly will be pleased with that one, to be honest, but I'll see what he says on the radio.
Oh, here comes Hamilton on Sergio Perez. Oh, no,
it's Verstappen. It's Verstappen in the inside line, turn 7. Hamilton's up to 4th place. Yeah, Verstappen down to 5th. He's really struggling out there on those tyres. They've done 26 laps. I thought it was Perez as well for a second because Perez has dropped to 7th. He's been passed by Leclerc. So I thought Hamilton had let him back past and he got back through. But that was actually Hamilton passing Verstappen. Not often this year that Red Bull have been passed. And I don't know what Hannah Schmitz is up to right now, but I cannot believe that she thinks this is a good strategy. What is she doing?
I originally thought it was, but that's because I thought the rain was going to come later, but the rain's not coming.
If they had boxed under the safety car, they would have been still in this battle, and they still would have been in contention for the race win. Now they're going to just drop falling back. That was a bad move on Red Bull. Too much time at the front. We saw it with Mercedes when they lost races, is because they spent too much time at the front, and they forget how to win races from further behind in terms of strategy. We saw it with Ferrari, we saw it with Mercedes, now we're seeing it with Red Bull. You forget how to do it.
Yeah. And with Mercedes now, you're more used to looking at strategies from outside of that. So I think that's what's helping Ferrari and Mercedes.
This is certainly one of the best races of the year so far, just for the sheer amount of brilliance it's delivering, because we don't know who's going to win. And now, Verstappen's under pressure from Charles Leclerc. What an off weekend for Red Bull. If they bounce back at the Japanese Grand Prix by winning by about 50 million years, that will be a surprise. But Japan's a very tight and twisty circuit. It's very similar to Singapore in terms of the stop-start nature. Really don't think Red Bull will work there.
Oh, Leclerc! Red Bull struggling. Here comes Leclerc to the inside of turn number 7.
Easy
Can he
move.
make it stick? Yes, he can. Easy does it with a DRS. Lovely stuff.
So that's Verstappen 6th, Perez 7th, both on 27 uphold tyres. They have got to pit, but they're going to drop so
Yeah, they
far
got
down.
to.
I can't.
Well, I got a prediction, and I think it's going to be bold here.
Oh, God, they're going to drop
With
to
the
the
way
back.
science has been told.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Ferrari 1-2.
I think it is. And look at this. Perez is now causing the train behind Alonso. 3 seconds, and Perez, look at that, backwards. But more importantly, look at the... We'll switch over to the battle screen.
Is that Piastri?
Yeah, it is. Look at the battle screen. Look at Verstappen, 7.6 seconds to the leader. And then look back. Bottas, the last driver in that little train there, with that Perez is holding up, is only 20 seconds back to Sainz. It's a 25-second pit lane. Red Bull are going to come out at the back of the field.
So they're going to hope this rain is going to come late up then, otherwise they're screwed.
Yeah. Red Bull are going to be last. Red Bull are going to be out of the points last. That's how badly they've screwed up here in Singapore. Wow.
I was not expecting that the day before I go on holiday.
Megan's missing one of the most interesting races of the year.
I always tend to miss the most interesting races of the year too.
Oh, and that's Alonso! Straight off the track at turn 1.
He's got to let the...
No, he's fine.
Yeah, he's managing a lot. He's very slow. Guess he's trying to back us up.
That is true.
Yep, you're absolutely right. George is thinking with his head there, so he should overtake Sainz to get out front and create a gap that will really put a spanner in the works. But Alonso flying off the track, and now he's become vulnerable to Esteban Ocon, his old teammate. Alonso goes defensive down to turn 7. Ocon has to switch back round the outside line, and Alonso just holding it together. Ocon looking left and right, and now he's under pressure from Magnussen there too. And Gasly.
And Piastri.
Liam Lawson's in
he's managing
13th.
a lot. He's very slow. Guess he's trying to back us up.
Down to the...
Yeah, we heard that.
Down to the Singapore Sling, past the Raffles Hotel as they come through. And again, Alonso now he's dropped 1.5 seconds back to Perez. So Alonso's mistake there has given Perez a little bit of breathing room. And now it's a Perez train turned to Alonso train we're seeing at the moment. So just getting a little bit calmer. Oh, is that... That's an overtake. Piastri trying to go around the outside of the AlphaTauri there of Gas. Is that Gasly actually to the Alpine? So similar liveries from the above angle.
Gasly is in the Alpine, yes.
Yeah. So that was Piastri trying to pass Gasly. Same livery from up above. It's why it's hard to tell. Gasly sparking everywhere down to turn 16. Piastri right there for 12th place. And no, they're still not coming into the pits. These hard tyres are not going to last too much longer for Verstappen and Perez. So
don't forget, I think has Bottas pitted? I think he pitted. No, he hasn't.
So he's
Bottas hasn't pitted either.
Josh.
Yes.
At the end of lap 25, Fernando Alonso became the first driver in history to complete 100,000 kilometers in Grand Prix racing.
Congratulations to Fernando Alonso, another record breaker for the 42-year-old.
And speaking of Alonso, lap time deleted. Turn 2, lap 29.
Isn't it always the way? Not even halfway.
Had to wait until that moment.
Russell.
Keep an eye on these tyres. These will go to the end comfortably. Especially how Sainz is driving. He just managed.
Go on then, George, make a run of it. Go down the
Ted.
side of the field and try to whack one, hit it. Shoot, George, shoot. You might get a goal, or whatever we're talking about in motor racing terms. Go for it.
Ted Kravitz displaying all his football knowledge there in one poor sentence.
But what Ferrari need to do is for Charles Leclerc to get back involved to try and help out Carlos Sainz win this race. But it's not working. Lewis Hamilton is dropping Charles Leclerc by a tenth or two per lap. Just a quick update on Haas, if you're following them. Kevin Magnussen lost one place in the, was okay in the safety car, but wasn't good for Nico Hülkenberg. They did stack the two Haas cars. Hülkenberg lost 3 places in that safety car phase.
Cheers, Ted. We're halfway there in the Singapore Grand Prix. So far, one of the races of the year. So much drama, so much intrigue going on. And if we have another safety car, we get dangerously close to not completing this race. Because so far, if we continue this pace, we will only have 12 minutes of running left in terms of the 2-hour clock. So we have another safety car, we get in trouble. Josh T.
Add the end of BSB Race to Alton Park to your things to watch. Race ends with Tommy Bridewell going past the race control building, giving a one-finger salute, goes in immediately into the garage, and shutter gets immediately closed.
Okay. I shall add that to the list. That's ultra bizarre, but okay. As they come into it.
Very bizarre.
The Barry Sheen approach there with the 2 fingers behind. British Grand Prix 1977, 2 fingers behind the back to Kenny Roberts as well. Always fun to see. That's MotoGP chat as well. So down the back.
I think.
Go on.
Sorry. I think Sainz has still got the pace to win this one. It's his to lose.
He's just controlling the pace out there at the moment. He's 8 tenths ahead of Russell. Let's hear from Max Verstappen moaning again. Yeah, tyres are gone. It's like driving on ice. Tyres are gone. Why they are not pitting, I do not know. He is so slow. He's 8.5 seconds back to Sainz. The gap between Verstappen and Leclerc is 4 seconds. 4 seconds.
Driving on Ice Series 1 coming to your screen soon.
Not presented by Philip Schofield and Hollow Willoughby. Not presented by them. That's all. I don't think they'll get a job again.
Lando Norris is catching up to Russell.
Yeah,
and so is Hamilton.
We've got a train for him. Hang on a minute. This is the lead. This is the lead.
Yeah, this is for the lead, for Christ's sake.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4. People have said to me this year, oh, Formula One, it's so boring with Red Bull dominating. I've always said to them, just you wait. There will be a race this year where there is a problem. There won't happen. No one is ever undefeated. Everybody is defeated eventually. And I just keep saying to them, just you wait. It'll be a cracker. And now we have 3 teams inside the top 4, all battling within a second of each other. Sainz for Ferrari, Russell for Mercedes, Norris for McLaren, and Hamilton for Mercedes. And the Red Bulls, 6th and 7th, are about to be right at the back of the field unless there's another safety car. Trust me, this race is going to be epic.
Yep.
Norris, by the way, fastest first sector, 28.5.
And he was
8.8.
And Sainz was the fastest of the group in the second sector with a 42.2. Russell was a 42.4. Norris a 42.7 and Hamilton a 42.5. So Sainz is good in that middle sector compared to everybody else. But the fastest on that last lap was Sainz, a 139.184. Russell a 139.319, Norris a 139.291, and Hamilton actually 139.186. So he's only 2 thousandths off the pace of Sainz. So Hamilton is naturally matching Sainz's race pace right now. They're all doing incredibly well out there.
Yeah, they are.
And it's Red Bull who are failing. Should we smile? Yeah. I don't know. I kind of wanted them to do the whole year, but I'm glad we've got a race.
Yeah, we understand. We're on the same page, mate.
Good boy.
Yes, George.
Good boy. Good boy. George wants to go for the win.
I think that could be an opportunity for him in the final stages as well, because the Mercedes tyre wear is better than a Ferrari, so possibly that could come in later on in this stint as well, so that could be a bit interesting.
I've not witnessed George get a win because the last time it happened, I was busy. So.
Yeah, we understand. We're on the same page, mate.
Mercedes want a race win. Hamilton hasn't won since 2021. He wants a race win as well, so it's all closing out.
Did you watch Sprint, Jess, from Brazil as well?
Yeah, he did.
Did you miss it?
No, I must watch it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Well, I watched him win Formula 2, but yeah, in Formula 1 I also watched the Brazil one. But yeah.
We were there, we were doing it, commentating. Great race weekend, great action. Russell win again. Can we get a British winner? We've got 3 Brits inside the top 4. First time this year that's happened. Russell, Norris and Hamilton. Sainz is there too. If Sainz drops out of this, it's a British winner and a British podium coming up. So this is looking mighty good from...
we were robbed out in Britain.
Yeah. From a Brit point of view, it's a bit selfish, but looking good. From a TV point of view, this race is absolutely cracking.
Is that Gasly on the back of Magnussen? Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah, so this is for the final.
And there's Piastri as well. Final. So the battle for the win, and we've got the battle for the final point.
Leclerc's gaining on Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a 5-way fight.
Leclerc's in this fight as well. So we've got 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, and 1 McLaren in this battle for the win.
Here comes Alonso trying to... Oh, and there goes Gasly trying to go on the outside, and Magnussen into turn 7. Magnussen's on the inside line. Gasly gets the exit, tries to cut back round the outside. He's alongside him coming into turn 8. That's a mighty good defence for Magnussen. Piastri will close up there too, but nothing to have a go at that part of the track, I'm afraid. And there's Alonso trying to pass Perez coming on through the Singapore sling towards the Anderson Bridge. But remember, Alonso has that 5-second time penalty to be applied.
Yes, he does.
Thought he might go for a dive bomb manoeuvre down to turn 13. He did not. So, yeah, I think Megan now knows that Alonso's got that penalty, and I think she's now not watching the race with as much interest as he looks to the inside down turn 13 and into 14. Nothing going to go there for Alonso, I'm afraid.
Obviously, you don't have any Max. Surely they're going to call you in.
Oh, is that Ted?
No.
Yes.
Gasly's not happy about it, and only 0.4 of a second behind. Gasly's going to try to get that P10.
Cheers, Ted. So it just
I just saw Verstappen. Yeah, I just saw Verstappen's radio saying that there's no grip again. Keeps complaining. So dive it in then.
34 laps
Go
on
in
those
the
tyres.
pits.
34 laps. I mean, what is he planning? Hamilton's just on the fastest final sector, 27.719.
Literally, Red Bull just keep convincing both Perez and Verstappen that they're going to have 42 lap old hard tyres.
That is ridiculous. They're banking on a safety car, another one to come out. I don't see how that's going to work.
But they're going to be low down anyway. What's the bloody point?
I know. You know that. I know that. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid.
I mean, they can probably only... I mean, if they're going to fall all the way to the bottom, they can only gain... I mean, they're not going to get on the podium or top 5 even.
I tried staying out on mediums before around Singapore, and it didn't work. I was on old mediums, everyone else was on fresh softs, everyone else was on fresh tyres past me. So, learn from me, the fresher your tyres are, the more grip you get around this circuit.
Yes. Learn from Jess. That's always the big advantage there. Learn from Jess.
Jess had a brilliant qualifying in one hub at Qatar early on this season as well.
Yeah, I did. I was 18 thousandths off pole, and here's Gasly trying to get past Kevin Magnussen. Oh, a bit of contact there.
Magnussen was off the track, and he's going to keep the position as well, so Gasly might get that place back. But Hamilton was never investigated. But Magnussen's clearly all 4 wheels off the track. He comes back on ahead.
Was that why he got the black and white flag earlier?
Oh, Perez! Yeah. Massive slide from him coming out of turn 11 and almost lost it to Alonso there.
Yeah, I got good time management at Qatar, Omi, but there's Vegas tonight, and after practice yesterday, I'm dreading it. So, yay!
A little bit of an interesting fact for you here. Max Verstappen is going to get his lowest points of the season. Would you like to know what Max is... Would you like to know
when was the last time he finished 6th?
British Grand Prix last year, if memory serves me right. But would you like to know Max's lowest points position of this year? It was Saudi Arabia, where he got 19 points. Yeah, but after that, of course, in Baku, he got 24 points, but still finished second. But it was a sprint weekend. Oh, and that's Magnussen off the track again, and he's been forced off wide by Gasly down at turn 7 and loses out to Piastri Lawson as well, and comes out just ahead of Hülkenberg. So very naughty as there goes the Williams of Alexander Albon right around the outside of Hülkenberg, coming into turn 7, and is under investigation immediately by the stewards.
Not surprised there.
I have to say, these two just keep pushing each other off.
Oh!
They had some issues also on the safety car restart.
Sorry.
But Verstappen also on the radio saying, keep at it. We are looking at options. Oh, that's Red Bull talking.
I'm sorry to cut across you, but Magnussen's actually dropped down to 15th place now. So Hulkenberg's gone to 13th. Lawson now 12th. So Magnussen lost a lot of positions there.
Magnussen's got damage, I think.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Oh, hang on. This is turn 1. Oh, hello. Magnussen lost the rear tyre coming into the first corner. I wonder if that's a slow puncture, maybe. Because the rear just locked on him, and that's when Gasly went through. And then he got back ahead of him. So, what's happened here? Magnussen just goes straight on. Another rear lock issue. So nothing wrong with Gasly there. So that was twice for Magnussen making errors.
I think Gasly said, see you, K-Mac.
That was true. That was true.
Bye-bye, K-Mac. So, it's 2:07 here in the UK. It's 9:07 over in Singapore. And Perez is about to be passed by Fernando Alonso and maybe even Esteban Ocon down Raffles Boulevard. Alonso to the inside line very late at turn 7, and the Aston Martin goes through. Does he keep it on the track? Yes, but Perez gets better exit, and Ocon's going to be right there as well to go around the outside of Alonso. He's in a bit of a sandwich, and Ocon goes around the outside. Alonso goes side by side. This is brilliant driving from Alonso. All three of them as they come into the tightness past Raffles Hotel. Down to the Singapore sling, and Ocon's still there, and he gets ahead of Alonso. Perez goes to defend. Alonso stays around the outside of the sling, and Ocon goes through. Oh boy, great movers there from Esteban Ocon against all race winners there. Fantastic. And now he's going to go defensive. Alonso tries to go on the outside, coming to 13. Doesn't work out. Perez stays 7th. That was great from Ocon.
How did they not hit the wall?
No idea. No idea how he didn't hit the wall. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
That was brilliant. This has been a really great race.
It really has. Anybody says Formula 1's boring, watch this one.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone will be complaining because unless you're a Verstappen fan, because Verstappen's not winning. But yeah, Magnussen saying, I just locked the rear completely, but in an unnatural way.
Well, I'm trying to think of a Taylor Swift reference, but I can't. There's some science.
Science.
Let me know when you think it's good to push. I have 1 second in hand.
I still have 1 second of basic car.
We had that loud on the pit lane channel that we did on the TV feed. That's good.
So what Science is doing, for those of you just watching, he's been saving his tyres to the safety car restart to try and back the field up. That's going to help Leclerc catch up to this train, which is doing very well. And then as soon as Leclerc catches up, then Sainz is going to be pushing again.
Alonso.
That's my reckoning.
In 1 second of each other. Oh, Leclerc.
Stay out. Stay out.
Russell's, who was that on the radio? Just being told to stay out. Perez, stay out, stay out. So they don't want him to pit yet. So Perez wants to box, and they're not letting him. So stay out is the message. But Esty Bestie on his birthday is having the Bestie birthday. He's up to P8 ahead of Alonso. So well done for Esteban Ocon. And now he's stuck behind Fernando Alonso. Here's Russell.
2 seconds. Science reporting he still has a second of pace in hand.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because Mercedes making it clear that you need 2 seconds a lap advantage to overtake, and Sainz is only backing up about a second. So they don't have, Mercedes doesn't have 2 seconds per lap pace on the Ferrari, even with the Ferrari saving its tyres. And they point out, Mercedes, that the only people passing anybody are pretty much everybody on a Red Bull, which has 20 laps more on its hard tyres. So they're just going to have to hope they've got better tyre life, Mercedes, than Sainz in front of them, and see how the race develops.
Cheers, Ted. Well, this is getting chaotic in another half, as look at that, 28 seconds lost in the pit lane. The gap between the field is 36, and Verstappen is 30 seconds back, so they're going to end up at the back. Red Bull, unless it's a safety car, they're going to end up at the back. Now, the question is, do you sacrifice Perez and cause a crash or not? And here comes Esti Besti on his birthday, down Raffles Boulevard as well. Going to go to the inside line. Perez goes defensive. Ocon, okay, I'll stay on the outside line. Tries to get the cut back through turn 7, gets much better exit, then takes off his front brake, goes on the outside at turn 8. Perez on the inside to defend. Ocon brakes late, gets it back, pulls round the outside, gets the power down, and Ocon goes through. Oh, that is a perfect move from Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, and now Perez is under attack from Alonso around the outside of the Singapore sling. Perez defends. Alonso trying to find a way through, not working. Is he going to do the Anderson Bridge? His teammate from Ferrari, Felipe Massa, did that in 2012 against Bruno Senna. And he's nothing into the braking zone. Perez so late. Alonso gets the comeback. Perez is out the poor exit. DRS zone is open. Alonso round the outside on the run down to the boulevard, turn 14, and he's through. Great move from Alonso. And now Perez was really struggling. And here comes Gasly. Easy for Gasly round the outside. Pulls the inside line down towards turn 14, and Gasly goes through, and Piastri will be through without any doubt. Perez is now outside of the points paying positions. Perez is out of the points. Box for Perez. Too late. Around about 19 laps too late since the safety car. Oh, he went wide. Perez went wide. Did he hit the pit lane?
Did he hit the wall?
Did Perez hit the pit lane? I think he's broken his rear suspender. Is he okay? Perez got something wrong with him as he's into the pit lane now. Good stop. All wheels on and away. 2.3 second stop.
I think he's okay.
Is the car crabbing? No, it looks okay, but he jumped.
He was so lucky then.
Jumped in the pit lane, super slow pit lane. Look at that, exactly as I predicted.
Russell, purple first sector.
Russell's going for it now. He's going for the attack on Sainz. Perez rejoins this race in 18th place. Red Bull, when they pit Max Verstappen, is going to be 17th position. Red Bull, and now it's box. How bad does this go for Red Bull here in Singapore? They will not win this race.
Very bad.
They will have no points. When was the last time Red Bull had no double failure in points? It must have been...
Bahrain
22.
2022.
Yeah, great call, Jess. Bahrain 22, when they both retired last year, the season opener. That great season opener from 2022.
Russell hit a faster lap that lap, 1:39.3 22 compared to 1:39.393 for Sainz.
As Omi says, Max Verstappen's coming in. He's so slow. He's drifting the car almost towards the wall. He's done 40 laps. Oh, what? How many has he done? 41 laps. Oh, he's gone over the pit wall. He's done exactly the same as Perez. Now, he kept in the line, but Max Verstappen into the pit lane and get the stopwatch ready. You've got the pit stop ready.
Close.
Here we go. In he comes and stop. Change tyres. They're slow on the front right. It's a 3.1.
Red Bull are usually good at our pit stop, but not today.
3 second stop, and watch him tumble. Max Verstappen, the championship leader, is outside of the points. Is he going to... Where's Magnussen? Magnussen goes through. Bottas is in the pit lane. Max Verstappen rejoins this race in 15th place on medium compounds for the remaining 22 laps of this race.
Well done, Red Bull.
Red Bull have screwed up the strategy, and they had an opportunity.
Lawson in the points.
Lawson, yes! Lawson's in the points. He's P10. Sign him now.
And Piastri.
This is amazing.
And also remember, Alonso does have a penalty as well, so Lawson could maybe get another position if he...
5 seconds.
That means Hulkenberg could get points.
And Albon. This 5 seconds is going to put him down.
No, not Albon. Not Albon. Albon's 12.
Yeah, but with the 5 second time penalty, the gap is Alonso 27, Albon 32. It's just a question.
Albon's going to be in 11th because Hulkenberg's in 11th currently. But anyway.
Yeah, but I see your point. Yeah, okay, I get your point now.
Sorry.
I get your point.
When is Sainz going to push? That is my question.
He's saving his tyres so much.
He needs to start pushing now. Oh, he set fastest lap just now, I think.
Yes. Hang on. Verstappen just set fastest sector 1, 41.626. Last lap time for Sainz, taking a look on the board, was a... One. It's not telling me.
If Verstappen pitted when everyone else would have done, I think Verstappen would have had a chance of winning this race.
I agree with you. Unfortunately, my driver track hasn't been updating recently, so that's why it's not great. I was wondering why I was looking down and not getting the right information.
There's 5 cars for the battle for the win. Sainz, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc.
And none of them are Red Bulls. In fact, the top... Correct me if I'm wrong, the top scoring Red Bull is Liam Lawson in the AlphaTauri.
Go on, Lawson.
Yeah.
This, I think...
Get him an F1 seat right now.
This is the race that is going to get Liam Lawson permanently signed.
Yeah, I think Verstappen and Ricciardo for Red Bull. Oh, sorry, Alonso.
Oh.
Oh.
Alonso undrivable.
I think Verstappen, Ricciardo, Red Bull.
Yep.
And Tsunoda, Lawson, AlphaTauri.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's the right call
and
as well.
Perez probably Williams to replace Sargent.
Last lap time for Sainz was a 1:39.939.
Yes, it's undrivable.
There's Alonso saying it's undrivable again on the team radio. So
Someone put in the T3 chat, Suzuka will be the place to know if the technical director's affected Red Bull. Sorry.
So Norris has DRS. Let's start pushing Sainz along now.
Yeah, Russell now is vulnerable to the McLaren of Lando Norris, so they've got to start pushing at the front. This is a very good Grand Prix. Singapore, as it always does, delivers as they come through. So it's undrivable, says Fernando Alonso. There's Sainz, there's Russell, there's Norris, there's Hamilton. It's a five-way fight for victory in Singapore, but it's the top three. And we've got a yellow flag, turn 2. Someone's off turn 2. I can't.
Ocon, it's Ocon.
Ocon stopping. And that's going to be the safety car. Esty Bestie is out of the points. He's come to a stop, and that's going to be a safety car. That's going to be a safety car. And that's going to. And it's brake failure.
It's power.
Red.
Oh, man. Say again. Oh, what is it?
Could be a red flag.
Car's unsafe.
Oh, no, the red lights come on. Look, yeah, the red lights come on. So Ocon's got to jump off. It's gone green now. There's Ocon. The car's gone green now, so the electrical power has been switched off, which is great. Now, this is going to cause a safety car. 19 to go, 20 to go. It shouldn't cause a red flag, but this is going to bring out the safety car, and they're waiting. Now, question is, do you come in and put on some soft tyres, or do you put medium tyres on? They've got to call this right. Sainz out the last corner now. If they deploy it, and it's a virtual safety car. It's a virtual safety car with the leaders passing the field.
Now, I think there should be a safety car.
So why is it a virtual safety car now? But for debris, it was a safety car. When we've got a car on track and marshals needed to go through, why is this a virtual?
Are they wait for all the cars to get past?
It's a waste of time. I don't know what. Unless there's look, that car needs a safety car. You need to get diggers out there. You're not going to get the marshals out there because you've got to push it up the pit lane. You'll have to close the pit lane. This is a safety car situation, not a virtual. Niles Vitek, the race director, I don't know what he's on, because earlier on, with the debris, that was a virtual safety car. This right now is a stranded car where we're going to have to bring on a tractor. That's a safety car, because they're going to have to go across the track. So this is a really bad decision in my book. Who's coming in? Is it Albon pits Mayswell from 12th? Zhou's gone up to 11th. Lawson's now 9th. Alonso may as well pit to get rid of his 5-second time penalty if this goes to a full safety car. But a really good decision here from Albon because he's got nothing to lose. This is really bizarre. Megan just said, I see Alonso isn't winning, but at least Max isn't too. Something tells me this won't be the last time he loses this year. So Megan's really onto something right now. Yeah, Megan's thinking the same thing as you. So VSC...
Bring out a safety car, for goodness sake.
Let's take a look at what happened then. Sargent's in 2, so is Magnussen.
Yeah, power.
Over revving. So yeah, the power unit's gone kaput on Ocon. That's so unfortunate.
Surely they've got to close the pit lane.
Yeah, because they've got to push it back up the pit lane, unless they want to try and take it around the apex of turn 1 and 2. But we've got Magnussen going through, Bottas 2. Where's the safety? Why is it not a full safety car? Really surprising me. And do they box? Because do the top leaders box? Yes.
Will they have softs left?
Well, the problem is Hamilton's going to have to queue. So Hamilton's going to be right behind it all.
So
Russell.
I got on the pit.
Driving unnecessarily slow. He's 3-4 seconds up on his delta.
Russell's coming in. Sainz has gone through. Both Mercedes are coming in.
Hamilton's in.
So both Mercedes are coming in.
They got the gap. So why not?
He's 3-4 seconds up on his delta.
So they're going to go on to medium compound tyres. This is an interesting call from the two Mercedes here. They're going to double stack. Ferrari decided to go through, so it's Sainz, Norris and Leclerc now to come through. Last time they tried this, they put on the wrong tyre sets, but it's a good stop from the Mercedes. 3 seconds for Russell and around about 3 seconds for Hamilton as well. So not a bad pit stop from either of them right now. So
Mercedes are actually doing. Yeah, they're going to be out ahead of They're going to be out ahead of the ones. Yeah, I think them pitting. has helped, I think.
Alonso.
They're not that far off the front three.
Alonso's come in too, so Alonso's getting rid of his 5-second time penalty now. Very smart from him, because Zhou was further back as well. So, but this hasn't helped Verstappen. The safety car could have helped Red Bull here. It hasn't. And the track is now clear in Sector 1. So we're going to go back to green flag quite soon. As 5 seconds, boys. But this is okay. VSC is ending, and Alonso will be leaving the pit lane on soft compound tyres. So this is not too bad for Fernando. Oh, the front left's not on.
Oh, no, this is not a good stop.
And the front right's stuck as well. The front right's stuck. The jack's broke. The rear jack is broke.
And there's still green flag, green flag, green flag.
Race is underway again, and it has cost him. So this 5-second time penalty has been a 45-second stop. Alonso's dropped behind both of the Red Bulls.
25 seconds.
And the race is back on. The race is back on. Now, this is now released. Sainz, Norris and Leclerc, and Hamilton and Russell, they're just coming onto the Anderson Bridge now. So the race is back underway.
What the hell?
A major change.
Shh, if Lawson's illegal, then I'm very surprised.
Someone's complaining about Lawson. So that's Hulkenberg complaining about Lawson on the radio. So Lando Norris has a chance to win.
Both Mercedes pitted, new medium.
I think it is the right choice. Consider even a lap later.
We'll come back to you.
But
So we are staying out.
Yeah.
So Ferrari just took the decision. Leclerc said, I want to come in for mediums, but Ferrari said, no, we're going to stay out on this strategy. We're going to see this one through. McLaren thought the same with Lando Norris.
Mercedes pitted, new medium.
I think it is the right choice. Consider even a lap later.
We'll come back to you. So we are staying out.
I think they got the notice that we were going to go back to green flag running as well, so it hasn't changed that much, unfortunately.
Fastest final sector belonging to George, not to George, Lewis Hamilton 27.0.
Esty Bestie walking back into the pit lane now with the camera following him, giving him a wave and a thumbs up. Oh, that's nice. Well done, Esteban. I'm going to clap you for that, my friend. Giving us a good response there and a good rapport. Very nicely done, Esteban. Turn 7.
Shame that he's retired on his birthday.
Esteban Ocon may be out, but we've got a turn 7 incident involving Gasly and Magnussen reviewed. No further action for forcing another driver off the track. So Lando Norris has an opportunity to win, and he is racing his very good friend, ex-teammate and golf partner, of course, at the moment, Carlos Sainz. It's Sainz versus Norris for the race win. The new boys are 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race. But for the win, it's 1, 2, 3, Sainz, Norris and Leclerc. This is what they've always dreamed of.
Yeah. Russell fastest first and second sector.
Josh, can Lando do it?
I hope Lando can do it.
I hope so too. By the way, Russell's about 3 tenths quicker than the leaders.
Yeah.
And even 3 tenths quicker than Hamilton.
He's 1.5 quicker, Jess. 137.913 for Sainz. Russell 136.273. Russell is around about a second a lap faster compared to Sainz.
Hamilton 136.9. So both Mercedes.
Seconds.
I did say it was the right call. It definitely is. I think it was the right call for them two to pit.
They're going to close up on this battle a lot, so Mercedes have a
2
chance here.
seconds.
We've got a yellow flag.
Oh.
Someone's in the wall. Someone's in the wall. And double yellow, sector 13. And is it Fernando Alonso? It is. Fernando Alonso is in the wall. Alonso is out of the race. Alonso is out of the race. Now, does this cause a red flag with 16 to go? Alonso.
No, Alonso's back. Alonso's back out. It's green flag. Green flag.
Okay, good. He's just lost it. So he's going to get going again. He's found reverse.
He lost it in the runoff.
Wow, heart racing for a second as Alonso was down there.
Oh my God, bloody hell, I thought there was going to be a safety car.
Fernando is now down in 17th place, so not a great race. I'm glad Megan never turned up to the box today, then she can rest her voice.
Verstappen could get a point.
Verstappen is on the back of Zhou Guanyu for 3 tenths. Alonso off track and continue to turn 14, that's been confirmed, but here comes Verstappen. Now, Zhou Guanyu is on 26 lap old medium compound. Verstappen is on 6 lap old medium tyres that are up to temperature a lot more. Russell's just at a 136.273, but Hamilton is fastest sectors 1 and 2. As Zhou gonna go late on the brakes. Verstappen on the inside line at turn 13 and takes
what
it.
Move?
Verstappen is into the points. He does not go pointless.
What a move from Verstappen, that was brilliant. Late on the brakes, nicely timed as well.
As Ian Birch would say, 15 laps to go, anything can happen, and knowing Singapore, it probably will happen.
Hamilton in the 135s.
That's the fastest lap of the race so far, 135.867. So now the battle is on as the two Mercedes will chase down Sainz, Norris and Leclerc, the two Ferraris and a McLaren.
Russell lost a second then to Leclerc just then. He's going to gain it back soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Norris, the gap to Sainz up in second. Sainz in first, of course, 2.085. Here's what happened to Alonso, Josh.
I think he's just going to lock up. Yeah, locks. Oh, he doesn't even bother turning in. He could feel the lockup coming, and then he thought he might get out of it, but then he just stopped. So, brief yellow for him. There's Sainz. Nope, that was Leclerc. There's Sainz. There's Leclerc. And in the middle of them is Lando Norris as well. Not hard to find.
I think Sainz still going to win this one.
I know a friend of mine right now, I hope, is watching this at a pub. I really hope.
Sainz radio.
Faster if you can till the end.
Now you've got to get on with it, Carlos.
Go, 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 go!
Need faster if you can till the end.
Oh, because McLaren chose not to stop. Yes, he's running P2 at the moment. We've got to hope that Lando has to hope that he's kept some life in his hard tyres, because otherwise he's going to be heading off the podium too.
Verstappen trying to pass Hulkenberg coming into turn 13. Hulkenberg goes wide. Verstappen's got a greater exit as well. He's going to breeze past him, and now he's up to 9th position. So this is the battling that they are having.
This is what we wanted to see from Verstappen from early on in the race.
This is pitch perfect. This race has delivered. For the first time in 2023, we're actually feeling like we're watching a Grand Prix. This is great. You're well entertained.
This is amazing.
Well entertained.
It really is.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And we've still got another
shame I'm
14
going to miss
to go.
Japan. Well, shame I'm going to miss Japan with you guys. I'm going to watch it probably down like 5 hours away from where I am, but you know.
Where you live, Jess, everything from near you is 5 hours away. It takes you ages to get places. But can we just can we take a second? Liam Lawson's in 8th. Liam Lawson's in 8th place. And behind him...
Hold up Verstappen!
Yeah. Liam, if you want to drive, finish ahead of Max. What a drive. This is his 3rd time in a Formula 1 car. 2nd proper race full weekend. He's at Singapore, and he's doing marvellous.
Give him a race seat next year.
I think Danny Ricciardo's feeling a bit worried, actually.
Yes.
No, I still think Ricciardo's going to get Perez's seat. I don't think he should be too worried.
I'm just going to say this. Perez is languishing in 13th place. Verstappen's fought back up to 9th. And they were 18th and 19th a few laps ago.
Fair play to Verstappen, though, for recovering.
To me, Perez...
I think it was for Verstappen, it's Red Bull's fault for him struggling, in my opinion. It was not Verstappen's fault. We know Verstappen's a good driver. He's showing the pace that he should have shown early on in the race as well.
Perez has finished every race this year inside the points, bar one, where in Monaco, where he finished in 16th position. This is going to be his 2nd worst result of the season, in 13th place. For Max Verstappen, this is going to be his worst weekend in Formula 1 this season, finishing outside the top 2 places. So far, he's mimicked what Marc Marquez did in MotoGP in 2019, either finishing 1st or 2nd in every race, but Marc crashed at the Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. But every other race, he was either 1st or 2nd. For Max, it's been the same, 1st or 2nd in every race, winning 10 in a row. It is not going to be 11 in a row unless something really bizarre happens in the next 13 laps. He is down in 9th position, but maybe that'll be 8th Max, because he'll get ahead of Liam Lawson. Oh, pit exit involving Perez and Albon noted for VSC infringement. So Perez is under investigation, as is Albon. VSC infringement, so probably too fast. There it is. Pit exit as well.
And on the game, if you do that, it's a drive-through.
Verstappen's caught up to Liam Lawson as they come past the Raffles Hotel here onto the Anderson Bridge. There's a wonderful photo of my granddad standing on that very bridge during the war. So always nice.
That's cute.
As they come back, it's weird always to think that there's race cars going past that now. Lawson under pressure from Verstappen. Is he going to make it easy? Yeah, Verstappen. Oh, he's not. Lawson's going to squeeze him a little bit.
Oh, Lawson.
Verstappen.
Defend.
Lawson goes defensive.
Lawson.
He's going to go. He's doing it. Lawson's not giving up. He's on the
trying. He's
wall.
trying.
He's showing what he's got, but Max is on the inside line. Now on the brakes. Lawson round the outside. Lawson trying to tap back. Tell you what, that was the best thing Lawson could do. Show what he's got. Not in an inferior car to the Red Bull, yeah, but he showed his pace there. Lawson, you deserve a race
And he's showing that he's a team player as well.
Yeah. Hard but fair, I think, from Liam Lawson there, and that's exactly what he needed to show. He needed to put in Max Verstappen's mind that he was not going to be just bowing down to him. Max had to fight for that, and that was quite close. Great driving from Lawson. I think Max will respect that as well.
Yes, I agree.
So, we've got a pit incident involving Perez and Albon will be investigated.
What's happened to Leclerc? Oh, no, that was just the replay gone. Okay. I was panicking then.
FIA stewards, pit exit incident involving cars 11, Perez and 23 Albon will be investigated after the race for VSC infringements.
Ah.
So,
Hamilton is fast.
Yeah, whatever it is, they're going to give it a penalty later on in the race. So we'll update you, but they're outside the points anyway, so I doubt it's going to be that big of a change as it comes through. But
no. It's just going to move Magnussen and Bottas up.
Yeah. Leclerc P3, he is 4 seconds off the back, but Sainz and Norris closing in.
It's not going to move them up actually, because Magnussen's 18 seconds behind Perez. So it's not really going to make that much difference. Really.
Do you want me to say something? I'm starting to believe that Mercedes made the wrong choice pitting. They're not closing up as quickly as I thought they would.
Yeah.
No.
I'm starting to think it was a good idea at the time, but without the safety car, it hasn't worked. They're closing up, but they are what?
But if there was a safety car, everyone would have boxed anyway.
Yeah, Russell's 8 seconds behind Sainz, and in 11 laps to close that down, that's quite an ask, and especially here at Singapore. To me, this is Sainz v Norris. So Norris needs to pick up the pace. They need to go for it.
Alonso's almost going to be lapped, by the way.
Yes, he is.
I think Mercedes should have at least left one of their cars out there.
They should have left Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have left Russell because Hamilton clearly is faster.
I think they've screwed it up there. Hello, guys. Tell me how Ferrari found a way to blow this win for Carlos, says behind the mic. Hello, Matthew. Hello. Norris is going to go for it.
I think Sainz has still got the win. He's faster than Norris.
I kind of want Lando to win this. I know Carlos has already had a win.
I want Lando to win, but I think Sainz is going to win. I don't mind who.
Sainz deserves this because he's dominated the weekend from practice 2 onwards.
That's what I mean. He's dominated pretty much from FP2.
But
so if he gets this win, that'll be pretty much a statement.
But Lando Norris winning this race would be something that no other...
Oh, look at it! Russell on the back of Leclerc!
So this is for 3rd position. So with 10 laps to go, Russell's and Hamilton's just in the background of this. So Russell now has the DRS to Charles Leclerc to try and get through. So it's not over yet as they come into the braking zone. Down through turn 3, back on the power at the exit, down to 4 and 5. Russell's had his lap time deleted for track limits at turn 19 on lap 51. So there has been a changeover.
That was 2 laps ago.
Yes, there has been a changeover. Verstappen's just on a 136.835, not the fastest lap of the race, but in P8, so we'll take it as it comes. Russell gets a good exit, but we've got a yellow flag, sector 13, and it's DRS enabled, so it's going back now. Bottas.
Possibly.
Bottas.
Are we still green?
He's going very slowly, Bottas.
Of course.
He stopped.
Yeah, Bottas has stopped on my driver tracker. Is he out of the race? Alonso's gone past him now. The track is green, but also yellow. It's confusing me. I think Bottas has gone down the escape road, similar to what we saw with Tsunoda.
I think that's why it's green. Okay, that explains it.
And Leclerc's got a bad exit coming out of turn 13. Russell's got the DRS still. He's going to pull to the outside line. Side by side. Leclerc goes defensive. Russell gets a great comeback. Gets on the exit. Leclerc slides the rear tyre. Russell's got the power. And Russell's through. Russell takes 3rd. Sainz. He's now ahead by 1.5.
Leclerc's not giving... You can't do that, Russell. You can't breathe like that.
Yeah, that's not allowed. Russell can't go twice, and that's going to allow Hamilton to close up on the back of Leclerc. But Sainz has dropped over 4 tenths to Norris, is what I was pointing out. Sainz has dropped a lot of time. And Bottas is out. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas with an issue there. No more shift.
Right, Bottas is out. Thank you, Omi. So Bottas is out of the race. Alonso's the last finisher. As things stand, and right now, Hamilton's on the back of Leclerc for 4th place.
Come on, Hamilton.
He's got the exit down Raffles Boulevard, controls it nicely with the better tyres. Leclerc sliding everywhere. Hamilton with the DRS open, and he pulls to the inside line. That was nearly an aeroplane crash. My goodness me. Hamilton round the outside.
Fair play.
Completes the move at turn 7, but he went to the inside at turn 6, which is the curve on the straight. He dive bombed him, and if Leclerc had shut the door, that would have been a huge accident. Commitment and a half from Hamilton, and respect between the two. Watch this. This is Russell. Watch the cutback, Jess.
Leclerc just went too wide, look.
Much faster tyres. Mercedes up to 3rd and 4th. Norris now closing.
It could have been 2nd.
Watch how close this is. Watch how close this is with Hamilton. Look, there's the curve at turn 7. Hamilton goes for it at that curve and gets through brilliantly.
That was pretty close.
And that's Piastri past Verstappen. And Verstappen's now trying to close him back in as well for 7th. Wow.
Bloody hell, what has this race turned into?
Lando Norris closing in on Sainz as well a bit.
1.2!
Yep.
Lando, please, Lando, please. If Lando Norris
Go on,
wins.
Lando.
And there goes Max.
Oh, it's Verstappen to the right-hand side of turn.
14. Gets ahead of
14.
Piastri.
Got it right in the end.
I really hope.
There we go.
I'm talking to one specific person now who might be watching this broadcast. I hope you are watching, and I hope you are watching at the pub whilst at work, because if Lando wins this race, you don't want to miss it.
We need to stop the car on track. Stop the car. Okay,
That's
sorry about
Valtteri.
That was a bit late.
Yeah, so that was the radio message as well with an issue that Omi reported to us about. I really hope you're watching
That
this
time
race.
deleted Hulkenberg.
Hamilton.
Making roads. 7 seconds, Norris.
Is it too big a gap for us to catch?
Negative. Let's go for it.
It's doable.
Mercedes have got it. 8 laps to go, 7-second gap. That's a second per lap, and then an opportunity on the last lap. They've got it here. Driver of the day, 17% for Sainz, 11 for Norris, 10 for Lawson. My driver of the day, Lawson. Sorry.
I think both Mercedes should work together to try and get past Norris. Then they can fight each other after they both pass Norris.
Negative. Let's go for it.
There's Russell, there's Hamilton. They're closing in now. Norris is 1.2 seconds behind Sainz. He's closing in for a race win as well. We're in for a box office finish here to the Singapore Grand Prix. Nobody wants to give it up. Nobody wants to lose any time. Anybody can win this. Sainz has controlled it, and Leclerc's backed off.
Where's Russell saving his tyres there? Because Hamilton was pushing, but then surely Russell was saving just then.
I think he was.
Yep.
Because look at this. Russell's
Norris
back in
is
the
nearly in
130
DRS range.
Norris is 1.153 off the pace here.
No offence to Sainz and Russell. I know I'm a Russell fan, but my goals for this race, I hope to see a maiden first-time winner.
I mean, I said it yesterday, we could have a first-time winner here, and Norris is in DRS range.
Josh, volume down. Turn your volume down.
No, that was me. I screamed.
No, Josh, when he's commentating, is too loud on the volume. So, 1.1. Try again, Josh.
Hello.
Yeah, that's perfect. It was definitely.
Norris has dropped out of DRS. No.
That's only
Come
because
on, Norris.
He only had a small mistake, though. Hulkenberg's had that time to lead it to come in. This is still here. Oh, come on. What is this race going to give? What have we got left? This has been the best race of the year, without a doubt. It has been changing dramatically. There is Sainz, there is Norris. Catching them is the two Mercedes. And Lando's inside. This is madness.
Gasly, by the way, is gained 6 places and Piastri up 9. So they have had really good races. Albon's had a good race as well. He's going to be in the points, most likely.
What we don't need right now is an accident on the last few laps, a red flag, and then a 2-lap sprint. That's not what we want this time around. This is building up to be
You probably jinxed it now.
Yeah, this
but
is...
we're running out of time anyway. We've got 23 minutes.
Yeah, the rear right, guys, is completely gone.
Leclerc saying that the rear right has completely gone. So this is Sainz.
He's 10 seconds. Sorry.
Copy the gap you need.
Yeah,
Sainz needs to push. Sainz needs to push.
1 second. Now it's 1.042. Now that's not below the second, crucially. 6 laps to go. Lando's got to start pushing. Come on, Lando! Amazing.
No offense to Mercedes or Ferraris. Come on, Lando, do it.
He deserves it. He
Keep
deserves
it there.
He's got it. He's got it. He deserves a maiden win, does Lando Norris. He got it taken away from him in Russia 21 because of the rain and his own questions about the conditions. But he has been on the back of the Ferrari throughout this race. Both Sainz, both Norris, Russell and Hamilton, they all deserve the race win. But Lando has an opportunity. Everyone else has got a race win. Lando hasn't, and he could get it as we ride with Max Verstappen trying to pass Gasly. Don't know why the director's focusing on this, because we want to watch the battle at the front. But this is going to be easy for Verstappen.
Well, Red Bull International Agency.
Yes, Justy.
Or not easy for Verstappen.
Oh yeah, or not.
Gasly's defending.
Like a lion.
Go on, like a lioness. I'm joking.
Well, more accurate, really. Come on.
1.2 seconds. Russell's almost in DRS range to
Sainz!
Norris. Hamilton's almost in DRS range to Russell. We've got
Sainz!
a four-way fight for the race win.
Sainz has made a mistake. Sainz has made a major mistake. He's lost a lot of time. Norris is right there by half a second. Forget this. Verstappen's making, but look at Lando Norris. Lando's right there. Get off Verstappen. Back to the leaders. Get back to the leaders. Look at this.
There we go.
Sainz made a major mistake coming out the last corner. He got on the curves, and the rear slid out. Lando's gained the time.
Who do you think's gonna win out of the top 4?
Lando's got
Norris.
the DRS. Lando's got the DRS. Lando's got the DRS down towards turn 7. Can he find anything on it? No. But Sainz.
Come on, Norris.
Sainz making the mistake coming out of the last corner.
Hamilton 2.
He's been told, but Norris has told his engineer to like F off, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything. He knows what the gap is. Sainz making that error has gifted Norris an opportunity here. We've got a 4-way fight.
3 for British drivers here.
The 0.8 behind, 0.8 with DRS. Russell no DRS.
Okay, so...
So Sainz saying it's on purpose. Why is that? Why risk it?
Sainz needs to push.
He says it's on purpose to give Max it.
0.8 with DRS.
That's
Russell
bizarre.
no DRS.
To give what?
It's on purpose. Sainz has backed off and made the mistake on purpose, but he lost the rear. He was sliding. I saw it on the T-cam, so I don't know why he's saying it's on purpose. It's not. But now we've got a 4-way. I think Carlos Sainz is a bit of a showman. He wants to put on 4-way fight wins. We have 5 laps to go, about to become 4 laps to go at the Singapore Grand Prix. And for the first time this year, we have a fight for the win, and it's between 4 different cars and 3 different manufacturers, and not one of them is a Red Bull.
I think Sainz is definitely wanting a show here.
Lawson is still in
Yellow
ninth.
sector 11. Someone's off at sector 11. Now that is down to the Anderson Bridge section, and it's Alexander Albon. Alexander Albon is here. I think he's in the wall. Yellow sector. Now is this going to be the red flag? Is this the red flag we were worried about? It says
But
clear.
they can
Go on,
no,
Jess.
it's still yellow for me on my screen.
We've got green.
He's gone into the escape road, I think.
Look, Sainz leads Norris, Russell and Hamilton. They're all separated now by 1.4 seconds.
No, it's just,
Albon's got
I think
going.
Albon's gone into the escape road.
Albon's got going. Front tyres are finished. That was the mistake we saw from Sainz. Lando can push.
And George as well, and Hamilton.
So Sainz has lost the front tyre. This is crucial in the Grand Prix. This is unbelievable. And Russell's got a great exit out of turn 13. Lando's right there too. Sainz is vulnerable.
George.
Russell's going for it.
Sorry.
Russell's round the outside of Lando Norris. And he's
Go
going.
away, George. Go away, George. Give Lando his first win.
He's got it. Russell's got the exit speed down Ruffles Boulevard. Lando trying to go defensive, and he cuts him off. Russell round the outside into turn 16, and Lando stays ahead.
But now this is allowing Sainz to get away. Norris is now out of DRS range.
Hamilton and Russell almost, Jesus Christ.
Perez! It was Perez who hit Albon. Perez hit Albon. 3 laps to go. The gap now 1.3 seconds. That's what Sainz was doing. But Sainz now just needs to keep it on the track, but he's dropping tenths already. Lando's back within 9 tenths. Sainz has got no front-ending grip. And look at Hamilton. Hamilton's on the back of Russell. And
if I was Russell, I would let Hamilton through.
Hamilton's
I
got
think
it.
Hamilton's quicker.
No, I don't think so. I think Russell's got it. Russell just needs to have the pace. He's been blocked off by Lando. Lando's got the DRS now. He's trying to have a go at Sainz. Four-way scrap. Wow.
I'm just trying not to put it in the wall.
Copy that.
That's Leclerc. Trying not to put it in the wall.
You got to be careful, Leclerc. Verstappen could catch you sooner or later.
10 seconds to gap, though.
Yeah. There's
With
Sainz.
3 laps to go.
There was 17 seconds before. Leclerc is really, really struggling. Verstappen said that Red Bull and Verstappen are saying they have a very slight
9 seconds now.
Albon versus Pierre Perez will be investigated after the race. Lando's getting a good exit. They're out of turn 13. This is the second DRS zone. He'll open it up now as well. Charles Leclerc, he says he's just trying to keep it out of the wall. But Lando just wants the race win. 2 to go after this one, and we've got such a scrap going on. Best race of the year, best fight of the year, and definitely we don't know who's going to win. Can Lewis do anything? He's back in fourth, hasn't won since Saudi Arabia.
Sainz is pushing. Sainz is pushing.
Gap now 8 tenths. Right, Hamilton hasn't won since Saudi Arabia 21. Norris has never won. Russell hasn't won since Sao Paulo last year. Sainz hasn't won since Silverstone last year. Both of them were first-time winners. But Hamilton just settling into the back. 2 laps to go at the Singapore Grand Prix. 4-way fight for the win. No Red Bulls in sight. They will not win this Grand Prix. And it is an absolute dogfight. Best race win of the year.
The question is, will Sainz push too hard and make a massive mistake and allow
He's pushing
Lando
right now.
Norris?
This is great stuff from Sainz.
No, it's only half a second the gap as they come down Raffles Boulevard. Lando's going to close out dramatically on these last 2 laps. It could be a last lap overtake. We've had 13 races in Formula 1 where an overtake on the last lap has decided the race win. Most recently, it happened in 2021, of course, in Abu Dhabi. We've got a 4-way fight going on now. Last time this happened, a 4-way fight to the end of a race, was back in 2016 at the title decider in Abu Dhabi when Rosberg
6 seconds for Verstappen and Leclerc.
So they're closing up. We won't focus on that much. We've got to focus on this.
I know.
No, I'm just telling the TV viewers we're not going to focus on that. It's now Sainz. Hamilton radio.
George needs to pick up the pace if he can.
Copy that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, go.
DRS.
7
open.
tenths. Russell's going to have an attempt. Russell's going to have an attempt. Hamilton's right there too. He can smell a race win. And this is getting very tense right now.
Imagine if we get a British podium.
Look at Russell. He's right on there with Lando Norris. And Sainz has pulled out a second to Lando. Don't know what's happening. Lando's got...
No, I know what Sainz is doing.
Yeah, he's pushing now on the last lap, isn't he?
Yeah, he saved it all for the final lap. This is brilliant.
Lap 62 of 62, the last lap of the Singapore Grand Prix. We have a 4-way fight for the win. And Lando Norris in second position is now within a second of Sainz. Sainz no front end grip at the last corners. He's tailed in that first sector. Norris has got it put it all.
Turn 7 incident involving Perez and Lawson noted. Causing a collision.
What's Perez doing out there right now? Oh, Perez is 9th and Lawson's down to 10th. So that's what Perez has done. He's just punching everybody out of the way.
Get his first point.
Deserves it as well.
Maybe.
Deserves it, but who's going to get the race win? Sainz 6 tenths ahead of Norris. Norris just holding off the 2 Mercedes as they come through. Lando was a bit squirmish coming out of turn 8 there as well, into turn 9. Down through towards the Singapore sling at turn 10. And we've got a yellow at sector 9. Not sure what that's for. Yes, we see Sainz coming down to the braking zone.
That is...
It's Hamilton! It's Russell! Russell's hit the wall! Russell's hit the wall! Russell's locked up! And Russell's in the wall! Russell's in the wall! Over the Anderson Bridge! Hamilton's on the podium! Russell's out! Russell out! And there will not be a safety car! And
that will give Lawson multiple points.
Verstappen's up to 5th! They're going to stay!
Enter his race.
Russell can't believe it! Hamilton's closing in on Lando! Sainz holding off! Into turn 16 and 17! Lando can try hard! It's not going to work! Carlos Sainz has dominated! It's Forza Ferrari! It's Forza Carlos! Carlos Sainz ends the Red Bull domination! Like in 1988, it is Ferrari who stopped the domination! And Carlos Sainz wins the Singapore Grand Prix! Ferrari win for the first time since Silverstone last year. A tremendous race, And across the line, Leclerc holds off Verstappen, only in P5. Liam Lawson gets his first points in Formula 1 and finishes in 9th place. But Carlos Sainz dominates Singapore. Practice 2 all the way to the weekend. And it was a fantastic opportunity to where the Ferrari have topped every session this weekend. He wins in Singapore.
It's triumphant.
P1, baby, P1. What a mega job you did there. What a smart race.
You know what? This is my first smooth operation in Ferrari. Smooth operation.
Second.
Ted Kravitz said that he was going to ask him to do it, and he's done it.
Baby,
Yellow flag still out for Russell, but look at this. This battle between Alonso and Sargent in the 15th place, still going on the last 2 corners. It's not going to work out the way we thought it. Sainz, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen, Gasly, Piastri, Perez, Lawson 9th, double points, Magnussen 10th. Let's hear from Norris, P2.
Gave it everything.
Let's go! Oh, I hit the wall.
Okay, just bring it back carefully. Bring it back carefully. I don't know, but P2.
Let's go.
I thought he'd be disappointed with P2. You see that?
10 laps ago, I'd have put a...
Yeah, go on, Jess.
He seems happy with P2. I thought he'd be disappointed. Wow.
Omi in the pits. Ferrari win on your birthday. Best birthday present.
Yes, they have done it. And yet, Sainz, this time fully on him. Obviously, the reason why he might have been saying it's his first one.
Let's go! Oh! I hit the wall.
Okay, just bring it back carefully. Bring it back carefully.
And that's Russell's car on fire in the wall.
He clipped the wall, I think it looked like, as well.
Hamilton.
Third.
Mega job, boys. Mega job. Such good pace at the end there.
Yeah, mate, looks super strong.
Great work by everyone.
There's Hamilton's
such
radio.
good pace at the end there.
Yeah, mate, looks super strong.
Yeah, great work by everyone.
Omi, continue with your point before you got interrupted.
Yeah, absolutely incredible there by Carlos Sainz. Obviously, Silverstone didn't lead full all of it, and obviously Leclerc did get screwed up by Ferrari at Silverstone, but this one fully on Sainz. Absolutely brilliant by him. Ferrari returned back to the top of the table as well, and what a race all the way to the end.
Best race of the season. Fantastic. The fireworks go off here in Singapore. The best race of the year. Megan is delighted. We'll hear from her in a second on that race. She watched it all as well.
I think she's happy that there's no Red Bull that wins. We get to hear the Italian anthem as well.
Yeah, no worries. Megan's not going to join. She's not going to put the info. I'm still ill, she says, as well. But Megan says party emojis, but yay, didn't the new regulations come in? Yes, and it has affected them. Megan said, didn't the new regulations come in and then Red Bull lose? Carlos Sainz ends the Red Bull domination. Frederick Vasseur gets his first win as Ferrari team principal. And it's a weekend that Ferrari have dominated. Leclerc top practice 1 with Sainz P2. And then across, it was Sainz across the entire weekend. He was the smooth operator and he has dominated under the lights here in Singapore. I knew they were cheating, said Megan. Well, that's strong words from Megan. Finally.
No, Ferrari's strategy, and even Sainz's strategy was perfect today.
Megan says finally a victory that was a Red Bull.
We won Singapore, my friend.
Like, great. Isn't it great?
That's Sainz's radio.
What a ledge.
More Sainz's radio there coming through on the TV feed as the party atmosphere.
Can we turn the TV feed off, please? It's getting frustrating.
Yes, I will now. I'll tell you one thing, I'm so glad we were able to get back on here on the main channel for that race. I'm so glad that happened. Because we've had 1,321 people watching. We've had regulars of around about 88. At one point I looked down, it was at 100 odd consistent viewers on the YouTube chat. Hello to everybody on Twitch as well, watching on everyone as well on USON. Great jobs
My
as
heart was racing.
Best race of the year, without a doubt. And there's George Russell. That is such a bitter disappointment. He clipped the wall, didn't he, as you said? Just went straight on. But what a race.
Do you know what? Last year, best race of the season, Silverstone.
Yeah.
Sainz winning. Sainz winning in Singapore, best race of the season. Can Sainz win more often?
Megan.
Okay,
I turn it off.
Yeah, turn that off, please.
I did. I don't know why it's still playing. Really strange.
Mute the tab.
I've done it.
Oh, no, you can't, can you?
I've done it now. I've done it. That's how it was muted on that one. Megan's just texted me saying, shame for George going off in such a comedic fashion. All I saw was him locking up and the back of the screen, which was hilarious because it reminded me of the Charlie Chaplin film for some reason. So Megan was watching that with intent.
I wonder if she was watching the onboard of that.
Well, I think she probably would have been. I think she likes to watch the Pit Lane channel. Right, David Coulthard is our post-race interviewer, and he will talk with Carlos Sainz down there in Parc Fermé. What a race.
So hot here tonight. David Coulthard has the mic in his hand.
Carlos Sainz, your second Grand Prix victory, and I have to say, what strategically brilliant racing you had there. You did one stop, your tyres were gone at the end, but you did it under the heat of Singapore.
Yeah, an incredible feeling, an incredible weekend. I want to thank everyone in Ferrari for making this huge effort to turn around and manage to win this season after a tricky beginning, but now we nailed the weekend, we nailed the race, we did everything that we had to do, we did it perfect, and we brought home a P1 that I'm sure all Italy, all Ferrari is going to be proud and happy today.
I don't know what you were doing in the summer break, but since you came back, your performances, you can see the hunger and desire. You've been beautifully rewarded with that victory here today. But it was like a chess match. You were very strategic in the beginning, and then in the end, you had to push 100%.
Yeah, it was all about giving our limitations with tire wear and degradation, all about managing the beginning of the stints to make sure I made it to the target laps that we wanted to do in each compound. Obviously, a safety car forced us to pit even earlier than we wanted, and I knew it was going to be a long stint on hard. I had to keep George, I had to keep him slowing down, to don't give him a safety car or a medium tire opportunity, and it worked to perfection. It was just quite tight at the end, but we gave Lando a bit of DRS to help him, and in the end we made it P1.
See, I find that incredible that you're thinking, I'm going to help Lando so he then isn't under pressure from the Mercedes. Other than the obvious, the fact that you were being hunted down in the last few laps, was there any scary moments in that Grand Prix for you?
Well, I felt under control, to be honest. I always felt like I had the headspace and the pace in hand to do whatever I wanted to do. I'm not going to lie, you're under pressure and you obviously are very close to making any kind of mistake, but I felt under control. I felt like I could manage well, and we brought it home. That was the best feeling, over the moon right now.
Well, brilliant victory, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lando, you've equaled your best results. You're getting closer to that first victory, but after what was the usual Singapore madness with the safety cars and the uncertainty on the tires, you, like Carlos, only did one stop. It was a hard race at the end there.
It was, but Carlos was very generous. Carlos was very generous trying to help me get DRS. It helped my race and also helped his. So it was tough. We knew it was going to be tough as soon as the Mercedes boxed, especially with only a couple of cars for them to overtake. But we're on the podium, P2, we held them off. We did everything we needed to do and more. So super happy.
We saw George Russell was pushing hard and was being pushed hard by his teammate. And in the end, he clipped the wall and went out of the Grand Prix. That was really the last bit of pressure you had.
I know, I hit the wall at the same lap, the last lap, same place.
You hit the wall?
I did the same, so I think he copied me and just did it even worse. So, no, I feel for him. He fought a tough race. He was probably one of the quickest out. He was the quickest today, I would say. So, it helped me a bit. The last couple of corners, I could chill just a little bit more. But good points for the whole team as well with Oscar there. But everyone, Carlos, Charles, Lewis, and George, we all pushed each other the whole way. So it was stressful, but it paid off.
Now, it would seem an obvious question under the heat of Singapore, but put us in the cockpit. Physically, how tough was that Grand Prix?
I'm good to go. Do it again.
Okay, we believe you. Right, Lewis Hamilton, congratulations. Third place, not the ultimate result you want, but brilliant comeback strategically at the end. This is your 196th podium and your 7th here in Singapore. We saw you battle hard with your teammate. We heard you on the radio saying, tell George to hurry up. And then, unfortunately, he clipped the wall.
Yeah, well, firstly, congratulations to Carlos and Lando. They did a great job today. Their strategy worked. We rolled the dice this weekend. We went with a different amount of tires into qualifying with the option to be able to do what we've done today. I felt like it was a two-stop, but I think that the team did an amazing job today to really get us back up there. It's a bit of a shame, the first corner, but nonetheless, I just kept my head down, kept pushing. And of course, extremely unfortunate for George. We were pushing so hard to catch these guys, and our tires were so hot. But I know he'll bounce back. He's been phenomenal all weekend.
We saw you sitting just before coming up to the interview. This is a hard race, but that's the way you love it.
Yeah, this is how it should be. It's incredibly hot. I think I only lost 2 kilos today, so it's not so bad.
Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy the cooling champagne of the podium. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not a bad way at all to make of that race then. Just quickly, Coffee Dixon said, I told you guys about a fortnight ago that Ferraris are hard nuts to crack. They said, anyway, this is George Russell then, Jess. Clipping the wall on the inside, you said.
Yeah, so I think it must have been the pressure that he's had. So it must have been,
yes.
And he just lost it.
Front right hit the wall, and it's just the way it exits coming in as well. It just light tap. So watch him back. Turns in. Oh, it's just on the exit. That's so unfortunate. Really
he
unfortunate.
He could have got podium.
Hamilton getting another podium. That's 197 in his career. By the way, we're putting the green screen back up for the end of the show. So if you're wondering why I look a bit different at the moment, it's because the green screen's going up in a second. The work going on behind the scenes. But
can you send me the background, please?
I'll drop it in. I'll drop it in the chat now. You'll have to adjust the top of it. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll get it all sorted. What a great race.
Thank you.
No worries.
I enjoyed that.
Great weekend. Great action. A lot of fun as well. I cannot wait for the Japanese Grand Prix in 7 days' time now. God knows what is going to happen.
And I'm not going to be here.
I know. That's not fair. We're going to crown a champion as well. And Josh T's not going to be with us either. So it's going to be me, Megan, Ian Birch and Omi.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be watching it still probably, but
not in a position,
bedroom somewhere.
Not in a position to commentate. Let's hear from the top 3 in the cool-down room. Jess, there's the background. Josh T sent it.
Aye. Charles, ever going pit stop? No idea. I jumped him in the pit stop. We did that up here, but it wasn't like that. Whoa. He gave the position back to me as well. He had to. Where did Max finish?
There's the top 3.
Aye. Oh, Charles. This one. That's what got him, huh? Oh. The heart is tricky anyway. Oh, he was not. He was not gonna make it life easy, was he? Oops.
An amazing race then as they come into it, and we'll get ready for the podium ceremony to come into it in a few moments' time. Josh T's got better backgrounds than I have. I've just got the pitch straight as well to come into it. Onto the podium then they come, the race winners of this incredible Grand Prix. Best race of the season, without a doubt. Best race of the year coming into it. They really have delivered here tonight. Just take the stats down off the wall so I can write them out First victory.
Let me sort out my background.
Oh, no worries.
Hold on.
We'll swap back when I read out the full race results.
Shall I wait until... Okay, I'll wait. It's fine.
There'll be a gap where I'll read out the full race results, then we can get everything set up. Well, everyone will come in, pop the green screen fully up and get us all in position. I'll put my ear pods in and hear from everybody, and we'll wrap up the day with all of the action as well. Lewis Hamilton on the podium for the 197th time. Lando Norris on for the 9th time. But for Carlos Sainz, a smooth operator. 16 podiums, 5 poles and 2 Grand Prix wins. In his honour, we will hear the Spanish national anthem. And now, for the first time this year, the Italian national anthem. Carlos got there in the end. You can't mock the great Michael Schumacher with so many of those conducting his team below. It's been Ferrari's weekend. It's been Carlos's weekend. Carlos Sainz wins the Singapore Grand Prix. He's a 2-time Grand Prix winner. And he ends the Red Bull domination of 15 Grand Prix, 14 in this season. Mohammed Ben Sulayem presents a winner's trophy for the first time to someone who is not Max Verstappen.
Or Perez.
Or Perez. Right, Ferrari ended the domination of McLaren in 1988 at round 15 at Italy. Round 15 in Singapore, they end Red Bulls. Frederick Vasseur, who has rejuvenated Ferrari. It's a long process. Well-deserved first win in Formula One as a team principal for him. Second place to Lando Norris. A hard-fought race, a brilliantly hard-fought race from him. He is P2. Ferrari's 242nd win alongside their 242nd pole position in Formula One. Lewis Hamilton, podium 197. In a hot and sweaty Singapore after 2 hours of racing, there's nothing better than to cool off with champagne time! Frederick Vasseur gets it all going.
Don't break any trophies, Norris.
Don't break trophies this time. The Italian mafia might just kill you. He takes it off the podium, bangs it on the floor. It's the two best friends in Formula One, 1 and 2. Lewis Hamilton finishing in third. The Singapore Grand Prix has delivered the best race of the year under the lights. Red Bull stutter, 5th and 8th in their results. But in no doubt, Ferrari domination. Sainz wins and is unbeatable here in Singapore. Will Red Bull bounce back? They've got a chance to win the Constructors and Drivers' Championship in 7 days. It's going to be a big ask to see. The Japanese Grand Prix is next, but Carlos Sainz and Ferrari smoothly operate the challenges of Singapore. Let's confirm then how they finished in this Grand Prix. It's Carlos Sainz victorious with, that's the starting grid. Here's the results then. Race win goes to Carlos Sainz, second position for Lando Norris, third for Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc is fourth, Max Verstappen fifth, Pierre Gasly sixth, seventh for Piastri, eighth Perez. Liam Lawson, first ever points in Formula One and double points as well for him in P9. That man deserves a long contract in Formula One. Kevin Magnussen getting points in 10th. Albon's 11th from Zhou in 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Sargent 14th, Alonso 15th, Russell 16th out of the race, as well as Bottas, Ocon, Tsunoda finishing in 19th, not even completing the opening lap out, and Lance Stroll, of course, not finishing or starting the race. Back up with the guys there in the comms box. You can see we've all got our virtual backgrounds on of Singapore. I'm just overlooking the start straight. Jess is on this track and Josh is at the last 2 corners, I believe. Omi's still in the back rooms. We'll hear from him in just a moment's time. We'll swap him in as well. But Jess, starting with you, what a crazy, chaotic, barnstorming race. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that in Singapore. Utterly brilliant.
It delivered. It really did. It was jam-packed throughout as well, and it was a great fight for the win too, even though there was not much challenge. It was 4 cars fighting for the win. Couldn't ask for anything better.
And Josh as well, it was not the ones we were thinking. Ferrari actually held their nerve. A good strategy team now being formed. Norris, P2, McLaren up there, again, showing they're still competitive. Mercedes looked like they made a mistake, got back in at the end, Russell hitting the wall, but Verstappen, this is going to hurt him a lot. He's really been off the pace all weekend long.
Yeah, it really is going to hurt him. But how good is that podium? That is a proper F1 podium with 3 drivers, and it means a lot for all of them. It definitely means a lot for Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. But I don't think they'll have any time to go for a little golf and talk about it, because next weekend, well,
Japanese Grand Prix,
and we're going to be up very early. I am doing both practice sessions, P1, P2. As soon as practice 2 finishes, I'm off to school.
And then you don't have to do them. You can take it off. Don't worry. We've got the American team standing by to help. So you can take.
We got Adam. We got Adam.
And we've got Joe Samaniego, who's very kindly saying he could help out as well. We've got Ben as well. We know that we've got a couple of others who want to come on as well. Jonathan said about coming on as well. So don't worry. We'll sort that in the week.
Josh,
just glad to be back. Go on.
There's no sleep for Josh. If I'm not in the commentary box, then I will still be watching it downstairs, not in the commentary box.
To be fair, Megan has just said, not looking forward to such an early morning start. I wish I wasn't ill, says Megan. But I forgot to tell her, by the way, that we're on the run of 7 now because of MotoGP as well. So she won't be too happy with that. Let's just talk about some of the things then that happened in the race, starting on lap 1. And Jess, it was not a great start for Yuki Tsunoda. Contact with Sergio Perez. Perez hitting everybody out there today, not getting a penalty. He's just been reviewed with Lawson. No further action for causing a collision. But Perez was just on the attack from day 1, and he took out Tsunoda. That's not going to go down well, taking out a fellow Red Bull driver.
I am very disappointed with Perez today. I mean, Verstappen pitted around about a similar time, and he managed to get into 5th place, I believe.
Yeah.
Almost overtook Leclerc for 4th. So it shows that the better F1 Red Bull driver is Verstappen. He's nailing it in that car. And he's a force to be reckoned with. Even, imagine if there was a safety car, he could have been fighting for the race win.
And coming into it as well, as we see the Japanese Grand Prix coming in, I just wanted to talk another thing about as well. Esteban Ocon, he retired as well. How unlucky was that, Josh? On his birthday, Omi can sympathise. He was running inside the points. He was running so well. Engine power unit failure for him.
Yeah, a massive, massive shame for Esteban Ocon. Hopefully, is there a race on Ocon's birthday next year?
We haven't got the calendar, I don't think. I think we're here in Singapore again, so it might be the Monday. So I don't think there is. No.
No, but anyway, I've got the calendar right here. September no, it isn't. It's a weekday. It's 2 days after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, they've all swapped
Baku.
round. Yeah, so yes. Baku.
Bloody hell.
It's
Baku.
in between Baku and Singapore.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was regionalised next year.
Well, as much
apart
as it
from
can
a few
be.
tracks.
Kind of.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Paul says, I don't think Verstappen will care too much. He's still got the championship.
He will care.
Yeah.
He will care.
He wanted that record, didn't he? He wanted a clean sweep, and it's going to bother him he hasn't got it.
Yeah.
Well,
go on.
We'll have to find out. I think we'll have to see how Verstappen is next time out in Japan. He's had some good races at Japan. He's had some terrible races at Japan. We'll have to see how the car is, of course. But if he clean sweeps it next time, keep an eye out. I've said it before. Many people have said it. I'll say it again. The Las Vegas Grand Prix. Keep an eye on that. That could be a race for a first-time winner in the name of Lando Norris, is if he gets used to that track quickly. A lot of sim work for all of the drivers for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and a lot of sim work, no doubt, was done for this new layout of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Definitely was a lot changing around as well. We're just trying to get the points as they stand operational so we can show you the driver standings. So with that, I'm going to ask Omi to step back in. We'll get him on camera in a second and work that out. But Omi, what did you make of the race on your birthday? You've been having a good day so far.
Yep, having a very, very great day so far. Commentated on a one-lap shootout earlier on. And then after that, obviously all of the F1. And then later on, one hub at Vegas. And there's a bit of chaos going to be coming in. So, going to be excited for that one.
I'm dreading it.
Yeah, Jess, just tell us more about it, both of you. Tell us more about the Vegas track. And you're driving, aren't you, Jess?
I'm driving and commentating. I'm going to be driving in P3 and then commentating P1. The Las Vegas Strip, they should have had the start there, in my opinion, but you can gain a lot of time. It's a track where it requires a low downforce setup for that part of the track. If you don't have a low downforce setup, your car's going to struggle there. Sector 1, a nightmare. Apart from that, pretty decent. But yeah, it's gonna be difficult. It's a sprint race as well, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
And
Okay, we've got the championship points on your screen now here on the YouTube channel. So it's Max Verstappen. He now leads on 374 points. Perez now on 223. Hamilton moves up to third in the championship on 180. For Alonso, Alonso now on 170 now. Sainz now moves ahead of Leclerc by a margin, 142 to 123. Russell has 109 in seventh, not scoring any points today, sadly. Norris moves now well ahead of Gasly, 97 to 45 with the 18 points today. Piastri moves ahead of Ocon, so 42 to 36. Albon is still on 21, the same as Hulkenberg on 9. Bottas 6, Zhou 4. Sonoda gets 3. Magnussen gets 1 point today, so he's on 3 points. But for the first time, Liam Lawson now goes ahead of both Daniel Ricciardo and Nick de Vries in the championship. He gets 2 points, which also means he's ahead of Logan Sargent in the championship.
He's the number 1 AlphaTauri driver.
Absolutely. What an amazing performance. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, you can see those here now on your screen. It is, of course, Red Bull. Only 14 points today, the lowest of the season for them. 597 points for them. They will not get the maximum of 999. Then we get Mercedes on 289 points now. They're ahead, but Ferrari closing them in. They're on 265 points. Aston Martin, 217. McLaren Mercedes on 139. Alpine on 81. Williams on 21. Haas, 12. Alfa Romeo, 10. AlphaTauri now finally have 5, and they're closing in on the battle with Alfa Romeo as well. So there's still a lot more coming in for that to keep an eye out and keep a lookout for them as well. So glad we can do the as it stands now with the championship results. We'll be hearing from a few of the drivers before we go off air because we've got time to kill and we've got time to catch up on as well. If Jess needs to leave,
I need to head off.
Yeah, so we'll let you go now, Jess, as well. Final thoughts from the weekend?
Can we swap with me with Omi?
Yes,
Should we do a little bit of a swappy?
That's what I was thinking because we're about to hear some interviews. So Jess, final thoughts from you then before you head off for One Hub. What did you make of the Singapore Grand Prix?
Well, I've got to have a shower because I need it. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really, really good. Japan's good, I think, just as epic. But Carlos, I forgot. I don't know why I switched my camera off there. Sorry. But Carlos Sainz, worthy race winner.
Absolutely.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye, Jess. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Jess, in the race.
And there's Carlos Sainz taking the race win then down there on the field as well. What's happening with our graphics? They can't seem to get working at the moment. So we'll switch back up then to me for a second. But let's go down and see what Sky Sports thought of it with Danica Patrick.
And I kept having as I watched. I was like, I know it's going to get close down at the end when they catch up with the tires, but if he just doesn't make a mistake, he's going to get this, and he did. And in the end, George made the mistake. Terrible break for him. He was super fast. Mercedes was fast. But, man, Lando, I mean, McLaren, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with the rest of the season.
Absolutely. But, I mean, the thing for Carlos is that he had Lando in behind him, didn't he, to help him with those Mercedes who were squabbling for position, trying to get ahead.
He was smart enough to clock the fact that he can use Lando there. I mean, Martin alluded to it in commentary. Rightly so. You know, he kept backing Lando up, coming out of turn 3 to make sure Lando got DRS, but was never close enough to attack Carlos, you know, and I think that was the key. He sort of held that gap, which is really difficult to do in the cockpit because you're trying to judge the gap based on the mirror of how do I hold it at 8/10 and not 6/10. That's all the difference is. His dad was a very cerebral double world rally champion. He certainly inherited those genes.
Yeah, we know they're an intelligent racing family, that's for sure.
It was just the whole day was super intelligent, super well managed from Ferrari's side. They managed the gap at the beginning of the race. They managed the degradation at the start. They knew that they couldn't let Mercedes have an easy pit stop window for the 2-stop to be possible and stop and do a second stint. So they were just so on top of the entire strategy the whole way through the race, what they needed to do to make it work.
Yeah, I think also we have to say that, you know, the race came alive, obviously, when those two Mercedes pitted there towards the end. The fact that Leclerc ended up 21 seconds behind Sainz on the same strategy, you know, the tyres were exactly the same age, I think underlines what Danica was saying before, that it was Sainz, really, who's delivered superbly for pace all weekend.
Yeah, we're just going through it here. So obviously Esteban Ocon goes off, then that double stack, and as we discussed there with Toto, it was a free hit, really, wasn't it, for them? They had to go out, they were second and fourth. They just thought if they got an opportunity to win the race, that was where it was going to happen. They managed to make the on-track pass of Charles Leclerc, both of them, as we've seen there, and then we're just pressurising late on.
I think they really were as well. Nice way to talk about it as well. Right, Omi's joined us now up here in the commentary box or in the post-presentation area. I know we're going on slightly longer, but we haven't got any post shows anymore, and there's nothing else on today, and we haven't been on live on the main channel all weekend long. So we're just going to go for a couple more minutes and try and hear from some drivers in with Rachel. If I know Omi probably have to go soon to do some more, and it's your birthday, but I just want to get your thoughts on the race as a whole as well. Watching from the pit lane, you were listening into the pit lane channels as well. What did you make of it? Was that? I think it's got to be best race of the year, hasn't it?
Yeah, best race of the year. Absolutely, really did enjoy that one. Action all the way throughout, and yeah, I was kind of a bit more awake in this race. You would have seen this weekend I've been bringing you more information, so I was a bit more awake than other weeks this weekend as well. So that has been good, and yeah, really a great race as well. Today really did enjoy it. A lot of action all throughout. Didn't get bored at all during it as well. And even though I wasn't commentating, I was standing throughout, and my legs weren't aching. But usually they could get because usually they do stop if it's a boring race. But it was action packed, so enjoyed it. And I do have a bit of a break now until I gotta quickly go sort out and make someone watch some highlights for today. And then after that I can possibly, then after that it's a bit of cake time and all sorts of other chaos, and then One Hub.
Sounds like a great evening. Esteban Ocon has tweeted saying, "Gutted. We will come back stronger." At Alpine F1 team. Just having a look back as well. The top three head to the cool-down room. Said he gave the position back to me as well. Says Norris about Hamilton as he watches replays at the start. In comes Hamilton. His ears perhaps burning. Norris is definitely the most chatty of the freshest of the three. And a new podcast group now as well. So what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Max taking an episode off. It's like me when I had COVID.
Yeah, well, it could have ended very differently. I know they're different teams with Ferrari and McLaren, but if Sainz didn't hold back and give Norris that DRS for them to work together, I don't think they would have got the win, a 1 and 2. That was massive teamwork, and if Sainz didn't have Norris there, Sainz might have not been able to hold off, and if Norris didn't have Sainz there, etc. But yeah, that was Sainz owes that win to Norris, I think.
Okay, well, let's hear from Charles Leclerc with Rachel.
The team went for a split strategy today. Is there anything else that could have been done? There was obviously some great pace in the car. Your teammates won the race today. Anything else that could have been done? Anything else you would have wanted today to get a better position, a better finish?
Yeah, of course, but I also knew that this race was going to be difficult for me. In the first stint, it was all about trying to protect Carlos in order for me to stop before him. So to leave a gap, and then we had a safety car, so we had to do a double stack. I had traffic to go out, so I lost, I think, three positions. I mean, I was second and I was fifth after that. So then that puts us quite a bit on the back foot. I struggled at the restart with the tires and traffic in general, and after that I knew it was going to be a difficult race from that moment onwards. But I think it's a great team management, especially on the first stint. Then it was up to me to do a better job yesterday in order to be in a different position, but it's like this.
Did you want to pit under the VSC? We heard some radio chat.
Yes, but I don't think it will have changed much because anyway Lewis and George had pitted as well, so I probably will have finished behind them anyway. So yeah, I think it was at the end it wouldn't have changed our race.
Just finally, briefly, if you can just tell me what it means for the team to have a win now and break this Red Bull run.
It means a lot, especially with all the hard work that has been done on a high downforce track. It's amazing. Then, of course, I cannot hide my disappointment because on my side, I wish I had done a better result today. But at the end, it was up to me to do a better job yesterday. And yeah, it's like this. We know that it's like this in Singapore, and we managed it. We managed the race perfectly as Carlos managed to have the win. So that is a really good positive point for this year after all the hard work. And it's yeah, it's a great reward for the hard work of the team, Carlos, and also myself.
I don't know how he sounds to you boys, but to me, that sounded like Leclerc knows that he lost a chance for a race win today. What do you think, Josh? Naomi?
Yeah, definitely. Leclerc could have been up there, but back-to-back fourth places. He had fourth last time out in Monza and fourth this time out. Can he go for fourth place? Well, we would have liked it to be a win back-to-back and then to back, but we'll have to see.
Right, let's go back to the start then, Omi. And Sainz jumps away, gets streaking down to turn one, clears ahead. But Lewis Hamilton jumping across as well as McLaren. They see their first podium here since 2012 with Jenson Button. Hamilton cutting the corner at turn one, not investigating, not giving a penalty, only warned about. Stewart's been too lenient this weekend, haven't they?
They have, definitely. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. Now, I am going to get back to that quickly, but I've just seen what Perez did to Albon, and I am absolutely disgusted.
What did he do? Go on, we haven't seen it.
He just sent it right down at the bridge. Literally just sent it up the inside, and Albon just straight on there into the barrier. So, well, not into the barrier, but obviously had to just get on the brakes, and it cost him a lot of time.
Where, yeah, so Norris hit the wall. We'll have a look at it on the onboard. This is what Norris was talking about when he hit the wall. Watch his rear.
Yes, it did, I did see it. He hit the wall, didn't he? When he was battling with Russell, just touched the wall coming out of the 10-15 section as well. Let's go down to the first safety car then.
You think
go on, Josh.
Zach Brown was happy on the pit wall?
Did look it, didn't he? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about first safety car then. wasn't, well, the only safety car that physically came out. Logan Sargent locking up down at turn 8, touching the wall, knocking off the front wing, bit of debris on the circuit. Why was that a full safety car and not a virtual? Why? But it was controversial, that point.
Very hard to, because there was quite... I think, if I remember rightly, it was half the circuit that Sargent had to go around. And there was debris shredding off everywhere. Have a virtual safety car, there's cars all over the place. And it's very hard to check multiple parts of the circuit. But if you bring the full safety car out, then the whole field bunches up. The safety car can go at a set pace, which allows more time for marshals around multiple parts of the circuit to go and pick up debris.
Omi, if Red Bull had pitted there, go on.
Yeah, and I also was hearing a lot that the debris was actually between 4 corners as well, and also some went off at a few more other corners later on in the lap as well. So it probably would have been hard under the virtual safety car with a few drivers just out of the train and at different places. So I think that's why the safety car might have been called.
But there was also debris left on the circuit as well, which was missed.
Yeah, I think that was the controversial one.
Okay, let's go down to Oscar Piastri. He's with Rachel.
Please, because that's a tough old race.
Yeah, I'm very happy to get back into the points, and with good points as well. So, yeah, I feel like I've definitely earned it. I'm pretty tired. So, yeah, first Singapore done and dusted. Certainly wasn't the most straightforward of weekends, but no, to finish P7 at the end of it, I'm very happy. Obviously, happy for the team with another podium as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can have a good weekend in Japan, and looking forward to getting the upgrades too.
You got stuck behind the Alpines for quite a while at the start, didn't you? I mean, with a better position from yesterday, if you hadn't got someone lucky with the red flag, what could have been possible today? Would you have been up there with Lando? Do you think you had the pace?
I think probably not. You know, track position's so tough around here, and you know, obviously we've got different cars this weekend, so it would have been a very good result if I could have kept with Lando with that in consideration. But yeah, I think realistically, you know, P6 in front of Gasly is probably the most we could have done. So yeah, not disappointed with that. But yeah, we'll see if there's anything I could have done a bit better. I feel like at some points of the race, maybe I was lacking a little bit of pace, but no, all in all, very happy.
That upgrade's worth a couple of tenths. You bet you can't wait to get it on next weekend.
Definitely. Looking forward to it. Anytime the team tells you they're putting faster parts on the car, it's always a nice feeling.
Great job today, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nicely done indeed there as well from Oscar Piastri. So yeah, question to you, Omi, then. I know you're busy. I can see you are. The Red Bulls, Hannah Schmidt, the chief strategist, brave call not pitting them under that safety car, and it hurt them. 40 laps they did on those hard tyres. And Omi, do you reckon they should have pitted earlier? Like they should have all pitted together under the safety car. Wouldn't have lost too much. Max, I think, knows he's lost a chance of a win because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. They really should have, because then they would have been lined with all of the other drivers. They would have been on the same strategy, and then they can push forward. But they were an absolute sitting duck as well, right at the end. So, in my opinion, it was the wrong decision by Red Bull, and they could have picked up some more points.
Your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, Lando Norris, incredible. But just quickly going back to Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri, P17 to P7 today.
Great result.
In his first ever year, his first ever Singapore race, he's had 6 points finishes, and a podium, a second place in the Belgian sprint on top of that, 8th in Australia, 10th in Monaco, 4th in Britain, 5th in Hungary, 2nd in the Belgian sprint, 9th in Zandvoort, and now just 7th in Singapore. But let's go in here from Russell.
Long race, physical race. Difficult to keep concentration when Carlos was doing a great job back in the pack up, not allowing us to do the alternative strategy. I think we were half a car's length from winning the race had I got past Lando when I had the opportunity. I think we'd have been able to get past Carlos, and then just for last lap, you know, millimetre lapse of concentration and game over. So yeah, just so sorry to the whole team, and yeah.
It was just clipping the wall on the rear tyre, wasn't it, that sent you off? Lando said he'd done it the lap before as well. Everyone was pushing so hard today and having to concentrate so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really challenging race. You know, the tyres are dropping off and you're pushing the limits. It's how racing should be. You make a small mistake and you're bidding for it, but it's it's heartbreaking after such a great weekend. Cars felt great, qualifying was great, the race was great. We were bold with the strategy. I feel like I let myself down and my team down, but racing, it's tough. But we'll come back.
You will. The team gave it all. You did give it all. There are positives to take from this. You were chasing down for a win today, and that hasn't been the case this season, realistically. So the car's better. And you took an alternative strategy to others. You had an extra set of mediums. Everything is slowly coming together.
Yeah, maybe I'll think about tomorrow.
All right, thanks very much, George.
Josh?
Yes, go on.
Am I seeing stuff, or is that who I think it was in the TV pen because he wasn't on the podium?
Who?
His name starts with Max and ends with Verstappen.
Max was there. I'm waiting to hear from Max Verstappen before we go off. This is Russell just touching the wall, front and rear right into the wall as well on the final lap. No, and the Mercedes fans not happy with that one bit. The Charles Leclerc fans very happy with that as well. Right, what were we talking about before we came off here? Yeah, quickly I want to touch on as well Liam Lawson. What a race from him. Finishing in P9, 2 points for him. We've been discussing it all weekend in the commentary. He's got to have a drive next year, hasn't he? It's got to take over from the situation. Ricciardo over Perez at Red Bull, so it'll be Verstappen, Ricciardo at the main team, and then the second team, which could either be Hugo Boss at Red Bull or Adidas, which I'm hearing now as well coming in. Whichever one it is, it's got to be Tsunoda ahead of Lawson, in my opinion. Maybe Lawson ahead of Tsunoda, because if you think about it, Tsunoda stopped on the track today on the first lap when he could have got back into the pit lane. So, Josh, starting with you, Tsunoda's not looked great today, and Lawson's looked fantastic again.
If Liam Lawson does not get a seat in 2024, I am no longer an F1 fan.
Okay, brave call. Omi, what about you?
He absolutely should get a seat. The drives he's put in, especially Zandvoort as well, was absolutely incredible, especially in those wet conditions and with wet practice as well, and going into the dry race, which then turned into a bit of rain as well. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Then Singapore, such a challenging circuit. He drove absolutely brilliantly. First time driving here, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, absolutely, he does deserve a seat for next season.
I don't think we're going to hear from Max Verstappen. I am looking, however, now on the F1 reaction chat on YouTube to see if Max has done an interview that we can play through before we go off air. Go on, Josh T.
Liam Lawson's results. Zandvoort 13th,
Yep.
Monza 11th, Singapore 9th,
He's two every
Japan
time.
7th, Qatar
Sixth.
5th, USA
3.
3rd, Mexico City.
Oh, please.
Ricciardo's gonna spoil that fun.
Yeah, but if Lawson wins in Mexico, it's quite coincidental because it would also kill off all of the run for Perez in Formula One, wouldn't it? So there's a little coincidental there that I quite like seeing. I'm going to hear from Will Buxton in a second, so I'm just going to mute you two for a second, and I'll ask you this question so you don't get deafened as well. Max Verstappen, we've got to talk about him, and I think he's had actually quite a good day. From starting 11th, finished in 5th. Yes, the strategy tried to kill him several times, but I think it was an okay race for somebody who didn't expect to be in any position of getting on there with some podiums. So just talk to me. What do you think? Starting with you, Omi.
Absolutely incredible there as well by Max Verstappen, and it was going to be a challenge. He wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to do what he can do at other circuits. The car is weak. And he did absolutely incredible to make his way through the field while Perez was getting in all sorts of contact while trying to do it himself. But yeah, Max Verstappen this weekend, terrible car, but he made the most of it and really did improve a lot of places. And I guess Helmarker made the point that Verstappen would do well in the AlphaTauri. I guess that probably couldn't. He wouldn't win or anything, but I guess he might get he might get points. That's what I'll say.
Definitely could. What do you think, Josh T?
Yeah, Max Verstappen, he's had a great race. As such, a great race for what circumstances the today with the car.
We're gonna hear. Sorry, go on. We're gonna hear from Lawson in a second. So go on.
Yeah, so the car, going, the strategy's not lining up, going straight all the way down to I believe his lowest was 17th.
Yeah,
to then fight back. An amazing, amazing drive.
Okay, Liam Lawson has stopped by for a chat on the F1 TV with Buxton.
That was sensational. What a weekend.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But now, I wanted to check. It's not your... I thought you were tying your sleeves around you. What's this?
It's just a cold... It's just to cool me down. I'm quite warm.
The new crossbody bag trend, is it? We thought it was... We thought you were tying your sleeves around you like a toga.
That would be the weirdest thing I've never seen a driver tie their...
Well, that's exactly why
I'm not sure they would actually...
We thought it was your thing. Anyway, ignore that. Do you want an ice lolly?
Can I? Yeah, I'll take it with me. I won't have it now, but thank you.
I
appreciate that.
There's your prize for coming on the show. Brilliant qualifying. Sensational race. At one point, it looked like you were going to double AlphaTauri's entire points haul for the season. But 2 points in your second race. Third race, sorry.
That's right.
Brilliant.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was good. As you say, it was looking really good for a little bit, especially at the ends, but we just didn't quite have the speed. It was a bit tough. Obviously, I was trying to follow the McLaren and the Alpine in front, and I could stay with them for a couple of laps, and I'd have to cool off, and I couldn't stay with them the whole time. So it was tricky. The start was terrible, and that's on my side. I need to get on top of that because it's now 2 weekends in a row that I've lost 2 spots off the line, and it just makes our life more difficult.
Is there something specific about the starts here in F1 that are challenging you from that perspective, or is it just the different scenery, you know, and getting it right in this specific car?
I mean, I guess every team, I'm sure you know, the procedure is very different to what we're used to in other categories. So it's just something that's very new to me. It's frustrating because all the practice starts, we'll get really good launches, and then it comes to the race start and it's never there. So yeah, something we need to just get on top of.
Nice to hear then from Liam Lawson, who stopped by on the F1
awesome
TV feed as well. He will be at the Japanese Grand Prix as well, we understand, because he's still Danny Ricciardo's nowhere near going to be anywhere near ready. We're just about done here. We're going to be off here in a couple of minutes' time from our review of the race and our whole coverage. We are just waiting for Max Verstappen. Because he was going to talk with Rachel, so we are waiting to hear from him as we talked about it. So let's just talk a little bit about Lewis Hamilton. Another podium as well. Finally back on there. It's going to be a great mental thing for him. Do we see Hamilton winning a race anytime this year, Omi?
Well, I think the biggest opportunity for literally all of them, except other than Red Bull, will be Vegas. I think we'll find out with the flexi wing ban and all that if Red Bull are just was it just only this circuit, which is a chance, or is it for most of them? We'll find out next time in Japan. But Las Vegas is going to be a major opportunity for literally every single other team. So they're all going to have to step it there, and Hamilton could absolutely do it. He could absolutely do it.
Josh T?
Yeah, with Lewis Hamilton, it's another one to add to the collection to get his 200th podium. Will that come this year? I'm going to say no. He's going to have to wait until next year. If Lewis doesn't win at Brazil or Las Vegas, I don't think he'll get a win this year. Unless if Lewis Hamilton is really on the pace and Max Verstappen has a very rare, massive mistake.
Could be. Could happen. Might not happen. Then again, we didn't expect this to happen.
Probably won't happen. True.
A defeated Red Bull. How interesting it sounds as well. And I really want to hear what Max has to say. I know he's in the press conference.
we always came into Singapore thinking this could be a race. This could be the race that Red Bull aren't on the top step of the podium, and 3 different constructors on the podium, 3 different, excluding Lewis Hamilton, 2 other drivers who it's quite rare to be on the podium and stuff like that. It was just a great podium and well deserving from all 3 of them.
Was indeed, as Lawson's now with the Sky F1 team. So I understand Max Verstappen's actually spoken, but it's not being broadcast at the moment. I've just been told in my ears. So
He's still got the ice lolly.
yeah, he's just come off F1 TV as well. Let's check on F1 TV where he is at the moment. No, they're now talking with Stoffel Van Dorn, I believe. So Lawson's literally gone from one to the other, so we'll keep an eye on things. Okay then, boys, predictions for the Japanese Grand Prix. Next time out, 7 days' time for Formula 1 at Suzuka. Omi, starting with you, what chaos are we going to see as you're going to be back up in the comms box for that one?
Qualifying, I think, is going to be another mega one where it's going to be really close. But I'm sadly going to say in the race, Red Bull are going to win.
Oh, sport. Right, go on, Josh, what about you?
I think Red Bull, if they get their problems sorted from this weekend, it might take them both practice sessions on the Friday, very early morning for us, but around morning/lunchtime for everybody in Japan. But I think Max Verstappen will be on pole on Saturday. I don't know how he'll be in practice 3. Hopefully they'll get all the issues fixed, but unless if the stuff that continues what happened this weekend, I think he'll be on top next weekend in Japan.
Thank you very much, you two as well. Let's just give you the coverage details for next weekend for Formula 1. Next weekend we do have Formula 1, MotoGP and British touring cars, live action of touring cars and Formula 1. MotoGP is going to be slightly different because we don't want to risk anything, so it's going to be slightly differently twisted. Practice will air as delayed coverage. It'll be live on Twitch, but on YouTube it'll be delayed. Qualifying, sprint and the Grand Prix will air live on YouTube as well, but the practice sessions won't air live on YouTube. Everything else will for that weekend, so Twitch will be the place to see them live for the next Grand Prix. But your times for the Japanese Grand Prix here, these are all British summer times as well. 3:30 in the morning, that will be practice 1, 7 a.m. for practice 2, 3:30 for practice 3 on the Saturday, qualifying at 7 a.m. Race, we're on air at 5 a.m, lights out at 6 a.m. as well for all of the championship hunt-arounds that we are going to see. Let's hear from Max Verstappen on F1 TV.
Grand Prix for you guys?
I think we were a bit unlucky with the safety cars 2 times. Otherwise, I think we could have done more because the pace on the medium was actually quite good. I had quite a bit of fun out there, but yeah, 2 times the safety car this time didn't help us. Of course, we went on the alternate strategy, and then you need to hope that it all works in your favor. And today, I think it didn't. But yeah, that happens sometimes. I think overall the car was a little bit better in the race again, which I guess is the most important.
At the moment, are you kind of feeling like this is just an off weekend, very track specific, or do you think kind of going forward there is a lot of work to do to try and understand where you're losing?
No, I think it's just we really have to understand this weekend. Suzuka has, of course, a completely different track layout.
Great, so thank you.
We got him! We got Max! I'm so happy about that.
Max didn't get an ice lolly.
No, he was with Lawrence Beretta in the pit lane, so thanks for that. Okay, my thanks to Jess, my thanks to you, Omi, my thanks to you, Josh, as well, for your company this weekend across all the sessions. Pleasure, as always. A very happy birthday to you, Omi, as well. Are you going to enjoy the rest of your day?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I think me and Josh T are off for a well-deserved break. Omi, though, as always, will keep going. He is the commentating machine. Thanks, Omi. Happy birthday. Thank you, Josh T, as well, and thanks to Jess as well. So, wrong button. Again, you need to remember it's on 7 for the green screen. So there we have it then. The Singapore and now as soon as we sign off, Sky go as well. But we've already heard from Max. Singapore Grand Prix then has certainly delivered. We came into this weekend expecting Red Bull to take an 11th win in a row with Max Verstappen and the 15th consecutive of this season, 16th in total. That didn't happen. Once again, just like in 1988 when McLaren were dominating, they were only stopped by the red cars. And here it was Carlos Sainz dominating the weekend. Leclerc topped practice 1, but Sainz topped FP2, 3, qualifying and the race. Absolutely a smooth operator. Red Bull defeated the best race of the year, the top 4 in a battle on the last lap. The top 3 separated by 1.2 seconds at the line. A true great battle, a true great race. Who says Formula 1 is boring? Thank you very much for your company here for the Singapore Grand Prix. We will see you in 7 days' time at Suzuka. Bye-bye.